Hello.
I guess that
Yeah, that's you.
that is me. Oh, I guess I couldn't get enough. I couldn't get enough.
Oh.
Whoa, where's that coming from?
God damn it, Gerald. This is. No, that's you.
It is me. Okay, mute me. I guess I couldn't get enough. I couldn't get enough.
Hang on. Yeah, it is you. Because I muted you. So, technical difficulties from Gerald's part again. Surprise, surprise. It's all good. How are people doing? Ron Mercado already in here. Hello. Ron Mercado.
All right. I think I fixed it. Do we hear anything?
Nope. We do.
Okay,
not.
we're good. We're good. All right. Wow, what a way to start off our show today with my little bit of my technical difficulty there. So I apologize. Welcome to another edition of Comics Cast Let It Out with no echo. I got rid of the echo. Welcome. It is a beautiful Sunday, November 14th, 2021. We're winding down the year. And just happy to be here. Happy to be here with my super special duper co-host, Rick. How are you doing, Rick? He's like rolling his eyes here. So
I'm getting sus when you speak so nicely of me.
Oh, well,
I'm doing good. I'm doing great.
I think it's that wonderful background that you got going on back there. So
yeah, I know. It's
always flattering.
Oh my God, you actually did change your shirt.
I did. So anyway, enough about that. Let's talk about Comics Cast. So Comics Cast, let's talk about it. Comics Cast is all about the indie creator. We want to promote you. So if you're in the indie comic scene, we want you on the show. Whether you're a writer, you're an artist, an inker, a colorist, we want to help get eyes on you. And today is no exception. We have two wonderful guests that we're so pleased to introduce. It's going to be such a I'm speechless. I don't even know how to describe it. But before we get to our guests, we're just going to do a little bit of Comics Cast housekeeping. So that being said, let's talk about our YouTube page. So Rick, so quick to show it, but he doesn't show our plethora of videos. There we go. So he was just waiting for me to say plethora, I think, because he enjoys it when I say that word. But you can see here we have so many videos. We have other episodes of Let It Out. We have the Mentor Block, which Rick has famously did 2 episodes for. But we also have Inside the Creator Studio with Joe Tolliver, as well as his super brand spanking new Process show, which is, I think, in its 5th episode. It's filled with so much great content. I really encourage a lot of people to check that out. That's where you get to see the process of all sorts of different subjects in the indie scene. Yesterday was with Jason Flowers, and it was talking about ink wash, the process of ink wash. So encourage you guys to check out our plethora of videos. Lots of good content. There's actually going to be some new content that we're going to be hinting about that Rick and one of our former guests on the show are throwing together. We're going to formally announce that a little later on in December, but look for Rick to return on another show with a super talented artist. And we'll go into finer details about that a little later on. But enough about that. Go check out our YouTube page, like and subscribe. If you found us on Facebook, also do that as well. We want to definitely get that subscription list up so we can get eyes on our guests. So that being said, I will do the virtual drum roll and let's get our guests in here. So that being done, here's the drum roll. Hey!
All right.
Welcome. It is my pleasure. It's my honor to introduce Eric Vedder and Sheldon Carter.
Hello.
2 super talented individuals. They come to Comics Cast via Raid Studios and Sam Noir. They are not necessarily in the studio, but they're like extensions of a greater crew. They are also Canadian. They're from the North. I am so happy to have Canadian representation here. And I was talking to you guys earlier in the pre-show.
We've had that a lot lately.
I know. I think there's a lot of Canadian love.
A lot of CanCon. I like it.
Yeah. And I was just so impressed with the Raid concept. I think Raid Studios is just so cool. Sam Noir has introduced us to so many great artists and creators. If you recall, we had Andrew Bellinger or Andy Bellinger. We also had Carrie Nord. And now we have the two of you. So it's so awesome to have you here. And you have a Kickstarter going on. You have something that's
man. I mean,
mind.
thanks so much for having us on. This is awesome. Big fan of the show. It's really cool that what you guys are doing, trying to promote indie creators. And yeah, right now, personally, I have a novel going on Kickstarter. It's called To Steal the Sun, and so it's kind of cool to be able to do this while that's running. But yeah, we're just just happy to be here. It's great. Good to meet you.
Yeah, and you beat me to it. I wanted to let you guys do your shout outs and say hello to everybody. I guess Sheldon's already done that. Eric, you want to say hi to everybody?
Hi, everybody.
you sound just like Rick. Rick does the same thing. I ask him to do that too.
If you heard like a weird loud noise, that's my computer suddenly getting loud right into my microphone here. So
it sounded like one of those old school modems connecting to the internet for a second.
It's a computer from Digital Extremes, so blame that. Come on.
Hey, well, you know what? We're gonna get some endorsements. We're gonna get everybody to check it. Maybe we can get you a new. I don't know. Are you a Mac guy or are you a PC guy? This video is gonna just go to the masses, and they're gonna be banging down your door to hey, we're gonna give Eric a new machine. So that
look at his awesome beard. Of course, he's not a Mac guy.
Exactly. I'm jealous. I cannot do that kind of beard.
As long as the new machine plays some Final Fantasy online, that's the main thing. So
heck yeah.
Okay.
Heck yeah.
Priorities. So yes. So Sheldon mentioned it. These two creators we have here, they have a already massively successful Kickstarter campaign, but we're gonna dig deeper into that a little bit later, because right now, just like with all of our past shows, we want to tell the journey, the creative journey of our guests. So that being said, let's open it up with the elevator pitch, which is if you're new to the show, the elevator pitch is pretty much like it sounds. It's like if you go into an elevator and you have a creator that you want to sell your idea to or tell them about who you are. That's the message. You want to be able to tell it to them efficiently. The good news about Comics Cast Let It Out is you have more than one floor to talk about yourself. In fact, you have a whole skyscraper. You can say whatever you want because we want to hear that whole story, because I think that's the benefit of Let It Out. We're gonna
climb Nakatomi Plaza and then we're gonna jump off.
Nakatomi,
and the whole way down screaming like Hans Gruber. I'm gonna tell you the pitch of my story. That sounds great.
Oh, that's right. And we can all say yippee-ki-yay.
Totally.
MF.
Yeah, we'll censor that. That's fine.
Right. Okay, so that being said, the mic is in your hands now, and we're going to go first with Sheldon. You can talk a little bit, and then we're going to go to Eric, but I'm going to show some artwork in the background while you do your pitches. And let's dig deep. So here you go.
Gerald, you want me to start? Sorry, man. I'm going to start with kind of the journey, the writing journey, or do you want me to start with my pitch in my book? You tell me.
Let's talk about your journey before the book.
So we're going to go up the elevator before we jump.
We're going to go up the elevator. Let's start from the ground floor.
I got it. I got the whole thing now. This is cool. Yeah, man. So yeah, I mean, there's the book up there, but the to get there has been quite the journey. I started off. Some of you might know that both Eric and we work in video games as well. So kind of we're comics, and I'm a novelist and also a video game developer. And so my start in games came on a game called Jade Empire. I worked on BioWare. It was a story-driven game, and I started to learn. Yeah. Oh, have you played it, Gerald?
Mm-hmm. I remember that.
You guys both played Jade Empire? Yeah, cool. So that was my first game that I ever worked on, which is cool. I should have given you an image for that. Sorry. So then after that, I went to Digital Extremes, which is where both Eric and I work now. And my first game that I was a creative director on was The Darkness 2. So for the people in the audience who know the Top Cow series, this was amazing for me because I got to work with Mark Silvestri, the writer on which was amazing. It was a dream for me for sure. I'm also like a big metal guy, so kind of for me at age 16, 17, which is kind of giving away my age a bit. But anyways, my two favorite things were the Darkness comics and Faith No More. And working on Darkness 2 was Mike Patton, the lead singer from Faith No More, was the voice of the Darkness. And I got to work with Mark Silvestri as well. And through that, the other thing was cool is Paul Jenkins was the writer on this. So Paul's obviously done a ton in comics, and he and I kind of got to collaborate. Being the creative director, it was great because I got to meet him, and we used to work on the story together all the time. And nice. Thank you. I see the Darkness 2 is insane. Yeah. Yes, it was. Good. I'm glad you liked it. And so together, I worked so much on the story there, it kind of rekindled a love for me of storytelling, working on that game. And so as I came out of the Darkness 2, and our studio started working on Warframe, which is an amazing game as well.
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you. Yeah. So that, it's so special sometimes when your day job is something that's amazing. I mean, this is what we get to work on. Eric and I work on these games. Yeah.
No, it's not work.
So much fun.
No, there's a joy
Passion
there.
projects all day long.
Totally. But in the spare time, I started to basically make a regime for myself to be writing, and actually kind of, there's two things that took off almost at the same time for me. One started that I started to write To Steal the Sun, and at the same time, I was starting to partner with Eric, and we started working on a few projects. I'm going to let Eric kind of showcase that because the art tells a little better story than my words. But yeah, so together we worked on that as a writer-artist tandem, and then at the same time, I wrote my book. And flash forward, unfortunately, it was 5 years, 5 years of writing to get to the end of To Steal the Sun. But yeah, now it's done. And, I'll say that was the climb. And now I'm going to jump off, right? And when I jump off, I'll say, so this is the story of three crazy rogues, okay? 2 nations at the brink of war and one heist that's going to change it all. So it's it's an epic heist fantasy. It's kind of like Game of Thrones meets Ocean's 11. That would be all Hans Gruber could yell out. It's Game of Thrones meets Ocean's 11. That's what he would say as he falls down the side of exactly down the thing. So yeah, that's kind of the pitch, and that's kind of where I am now. It's like running the Kickstarter has been amazing because I think it's kind of hopefully for me the launch of my career as a writer in the novel form. And like I said, I've already been lucky enough to kind of be doing that in the comics world and with Eric already.
Oh man, you are living the dream. I just hearing about your journey. I mean, who wouldn't love to you're writing and you're doing working on video games, and now you're doing your passion projects here, which is now your own IPs, and you've paired up with a super talented individual, which is Eric Vedder here.
Yeah, his personality's kind of but yeah, he's pretty talented.
Yeah, he's shaking his head, and I have to say that we did our pre-show super late. We did it right before this show, and I've gotten to know you guys, a little bit, and I can just tell the talent between the two of you is just phenomenal. Seeing these products, the IPs that you're doing is awesome. And without before I get the elevator pitch for Eric as we start showing his artwork, I just wanted to also point everybody to the link, the scrolling ticker below. I don't want you to go there just yet, but there's a link tree for how you can follow our creators today. Note it, go there after the show because we have so much goodness that we want to share. But there's all sorts of just really, really phenomenal artwork and creations. If you want to follow them in terms of where they're going and what they're doing, this is the way to do it. So with that being said, let me pass the mic on to Eric, who is it says evil. Is that acronym?
Eric Vedder illustration. I thought it'd be kind of quirky brand myself, but I'm like the least evil person, I think. But no, you have to talk to other people. Maybe they're like, nah. Just before we move into this, maybe a shout out to that cover artist for your book, Sheldon.
Oh yeah, sorry. The cover artist for the book. That's a great. Thanks. Good point, Eric. So that the cover of To Steal the Sun was drawn by Douglas P. Lobo. Amazing artist down from Brazil, and check out his art. I should have given the link, but you know what? Maybe we can post that after. And we'll give him the link for his art station stuff. That fantastic artist, and he did a great job bringing the characters from the book to life and getting that.
What was his name?
Douglas P. Lobo.
Douglas P. Lobo. You know what? I'll just quickly.
Oh, thanks, Rick.
Okay, perfect. We'll share that. A little. Let's go ahead and just continue. We'll talk about Eric here because I have lots of art here that I'm going to share, but let's dial back a little bit. When I show the artwork, let's just hear about your artistic journey, and then we can always go back and revisit some of these things because the artwork is so phenomenal. It's so many different styles and just in your face. Thank you. Eric, tell us about your artistic journey, like where you started and up to where you met Sheldon.
There goes my computer again.
Is it okay? Is it okay?
Listen to that thing.
Is it going to die?
I'm gonna have to write to Digital Extremes and say, hey,
this is like basically the launch of like Maverick just got into his ship on Top Gun and he's cranking it. That's what you've got going there. It's like, what is happening?
I can hear, we can hear Kenny Loggins in the background singing Danger Zone right here. So
Danger Zone. Yeah. Well, I mean, Sheldon kind of did a short one there. Mine's much longer.
Go for it.
Well, I was just in the interest of time, Eric. It's fine. You know, if you want to bore the audience, go ahead.
No, I'll try and go quick. I think.
No, take your time. Go for it.
I think if I think about my earliest drawing, even though you censored that some of our drawings, my earliest drawing that I can remember is I'm sitting in the kitchen and I'm probably like, I don't know, 6, 7, and I'm drawing a little maze. And the reward to get out of the maze is a pair of boobs. So I feel like that sets the stage for kind of what I like to draw and move forward. But that's like my earliest memory of me drawing, and I'm like, oh, what a little troublemaker. But anyway, yeah, art's always just been something I've always been doing. Like I think every kid grew up drawing, right? You just drawing. And like, I just kind of kept going. That was basically it. I got into comics. I collected some comics, and I saw like McFarlane's Spawn issues. No. Whoa. McFarlane's Spider-Man 6, I think. Yeah. I think it had the Hobgoblin on there. And yeah, that's me. But I saw that, and and that kind of just like, I was like, holy shit, what is this? I've never seen anything like this. Like, I was collecting a couple of comics here and there, but that's kind of when Image was hitting too, right? All those big the things were changing in the industry there, and I got caught up in all that, and I was like, I want to be a comic artist and stuff. So in art school and stuff, you know, I'd taken art classes in school, and some kid walked into like a grade 10 art class with a bristle board of some X-Men characters, and I was like, oh, and he was a guest from Sheridan College, which is an animation school, illustration school, big art school here in Oakville, about an hour away, or two or so. But I saw that and I was like, I want to go to Sheridan. Like, I saw that bristle board and that was it. I'm like, whatever he's doing, I'm doing. And so, you know, fast forward a couple more years, I actually got into the animation program and went there for a couple of years, and yada yada yada. Got into the animation industry afterwards. Kind of did a whole bunch of different work there. Through that, I landed at Udon Comics, which was the popular franchise Street Fighter. They got the Capcom rights to do Street Fighter comics, which I got to work on. I got to work with Omar Dogan and Alvin Lee and good friends of mine, and that led into getting really exhausted with comics and being like, I gotta look for another job that pays steady. And concept art was kind of coming up and down, and or coming onto the scene around 2005, I'd say. And like Craig Mullins and stuff. And I was like, I want to check this out. I had a couple friends who were working at a studio, Silicon Knights in St. Catharines, kind of my hometown. And thank you. And and I was like, I want to get into concept art. And yeah, I knew some people. They helped me get the job there, and worked at a couple of different studios, and I was still kind of working with Udon doing comics and like illustrations, lots of pinups. You saw that the Capcom prints there. That's a lot of, I did a ton of Capcom, art of Capcom books for Udon. So yeah, huge, like on my artistic journey when I was younger, I discovered anime, and then I saw Akira, and I was like, holy shit, I'm going to change my entire way of drawing so I can try and draw like anime manga. And Capcom, when they came up with Capcom illustrations, basically Street Fighter Alpha, that just changed my whole outlook on what I thought was cool for drawing. So I started to emulate my stuff after that. Got the good fortune to work at Udon. They got the good fortune of getting the Capcom license. So all in all, I got to live out my dream as a Capcom artist, because I was officially doing Capcom art, and it's still got to pinch myself sometimes, because I got to, and to this day, I still do commission work for Capcom and stuff at shows. I still sell prints and stuff, but I've kind of moved on to that from there. And in between while doing the Darkstalkers 3-issue miniseries for Udon, work was starting to dry up. I was like, I got to get out of the freelance business again and go back into full-time gig. And that's where I heard about Digital Extremes was hiring for concept art. They were starting to work on Star Trek game, and Darkness 2 was part of that. And I got the gig there and haven't looked back. So that's kind of the journey, very rough, but had my hands in a lot of different art jobs, basically. Just did a whole bunch of different things. And fortunately enough, I've been given a lot of opportunities and tried my best.
Trying your best. I mean, I have to say that your best is good enough. In fact, it's phenomenal. It's beyond good enough. And I just look at this artwork and, as I'm going through all these PDFs, and I think our audience sees is that you can just adapt. Your style has changed. Yeah, you really.
Oh, we recognize this one.
Yes, right. This
Andy
is the whole thing.
That's a good friend of mine. So.
Right, and we had Andy on the show before, and just what we saw from the Capcom style to this, it's like you're like Picasso. You have like all these different periods in your art style. We showed some of that Warframe. We showed some of those background things that you had done, and then this. These are all things that you've done where you've contributed. This is what I was talking to you about, the whole Canadian raid experience.
Yeah, this year we really kicked up into the Kickstarter. The raid studio started with the Forest Folk one. You just kind of showed it there. For Dax Gordine's Forest Folk, and I was like determined to like take part in all of my friends' Kickstarters this year. So for some reason, everyone picked this year to start dropping Kickstarters, including Raid Studios. So this is our first one. And then I did one for for Carl Kerschel's Abominable Charles Christopher, the one at the top there. And then Andy had his Mother Trucker, and they were kind of overlapping. So I was just trying to get as much work done over the summer as possible, switching between styles. So, and
I'm not sure what he means here. How does a heavy beard man sound?
I don't know. Maybe he was referring to you when you had your heavy beard, Rick. I don't know. But I'm just, you're talking about Raid and how the studio is just filled with great creators. And it's so awesome that you guys have such a talent pool and you guys are all, have each other's backs, being able to like show, contribute your talents to like make these, these Kickstarters or these crowdfunding things, successful. And I had to go back and talk to Sam Noir and just say, I don't think all of your Kickstarters are funded, right? I mean, everything gets overly funded. In fact, when we talk about To Steal the Sun, there's a great story to talk about that, but we're going to save that for a little bit later. Yeah. But yeah, these are examples of some Kickstarter contributions that Eric did to other.
Yeah, Folklore with Kerry Nord. You guys had him recently on. He's
That's cool.
And so I like. Fortunately, I got to meet all these guys at conventions. I knew Carl Kerschel for over 20 years just through a mutual friend, and just blown away by all of these guys' abilities. And they're launching their Kickstarter. Said, "Hey, can I do something?" Like I just forced myself onto their Kickstarter. Said, "I want to do a pinup, too bad." And so it was a real pleasure to work on some of this stuff, and a good practice. Trying,
Oh man, you did some killer stuff here, man.
Oh, thanks, buddy.
Yeah, it's incredible. I think when when you want to do it, it's like the passion in the artwork is just shown. I'm seeing so much love in these pieces. And
there's no censorship on that one. You might want to skip through that one. So.
Oh, well, I missed it. Sorry.
You should have said nothing, Eric.
I'm kind of making fun of Gerald at the draw.
Do it. Yeah. So anyway, we're seeing all these pieces, and of course we talked about the darkness, and we talked about Warframe. Yeah. I just, even the Warframe art that you provided to me, it's so. We got like a chibi style Warframe.
Yeah,
we have this.
This is the glyphs in the game. You can run around the game and spray paint them on the walls and run and keep on running. So you tag levels in the game, and so I got to do a bunch of them, which has been really fun. And then that other stuff you're looking at, that's kind of
this.
These are there's this thing called the Lavarians for these characters, which is kind of like a lore library for the individual Warframe. You kind of can walk through it in a 3D space, look at the weapons they carry, and there's someone talking about it. And hidden in these levels is these collectible cards. So it's kind of a cool thing that DE1
detail, man, is amazing. That's where
I know.
That's where you get carpal tunnel, right? When
Yeah.
when you're getting in that level.
I got my wrist brace right here. I got a couple of wrist braces. I got multiple wrist braces.
Oh yeah, it's like I didn't have to get endorsements.
But I proposed this idea. They were talking about doing some card art and like baseball style card art. I'm like, no. These cards deserve like a tarot card, Alphonse Mucha style. I don't know if I'm saying
yes. I'm a big fan of that.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan too. So I proposed something quickly, and then Steve was all about it. Steve Sinclair, and then I got the go ahead to start working on them. And I think I've done about 16 of them or so. So I'm just kind of throwing some of my favorites.
And how many of them are in the games?
Like 40 something, so I got a lot to do.
How many of the ones you've done are in the game now? Because I do believe I've seen some of them in the game.
Yep, I think. Actually, I'm not even sure this one's in the game, but anyway, there we see it.
Now we get to see it. So you saw it first here on Comics Cast. If you didn't see it in the Warframe game, and that's what I love about Warframe is that it's like this game that fans can contribute as much. I've heard so many success stories about fans that like played the game and then they like experiment with models or doing artwork, and then the Warframe creators decide to like, hey, we like this, let's put this into the lore. And I have to say that meeting you and seeing your artwork, and just compare this to what you did with Capcom. It's amazing. You're like a chameleon. You can change your art style here, and it's beautiful. I immediately gravitated to this because of the Alphonse Mucha thing, and it's neat because you never would have thought, hey, let's do Mucha with Warframe. Never would have crossed my mind. And then you told me this is supposed to be like the when they tag spray can, and it's like that's like the best like tagging art that I've ever seen. It's just really, really, really neat.
That's why I love Warframe personally as an artist, is that there's the way they've managed to mix all kinds of genres of art together in such a great way is just absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, like I said, I'm very blessed they asked me to do some of these things. The skateboard deck art too is a whole other different style that we have these things called K drives in the game, and they wanted to do like these throwback to the 80s style. I have a whole bunch more. I just sent you a couple, but it's like that 80s kind of old skateboard, late 80s skateboard artwork. They kind of wanted in your face, kind of gross, like it's like a rebellion. It's like the citizens of Warframe are rebelling against the people all the evils in the game. So I had a lot of fun with these. So anytime they ask me to do these, of course, I'm stoked, right? So again, I get to flex different muscles and try different things.
Absolutely. Flex those muscles, because I didn't even realize this was Warframe. And then when you give me the context of it, it makes complete sense. It's kind of like I don't know if you played that Cyberpunk game that came out. There's like a whole world, and they've got like advertisements, graffiti, cars. They're all, it's like to make it that much more immersive. And hearing that with Warframe, what you guys are doing with that is just really amazing stuff. But now that we've talked about Warframe and the darkness and Jade Empire and things like that, the two of you guys met. The two of you guys now have like, let's do the Wonder Twin powers activate. You're gonna you're gonna come up
How
with
did we come together?
Yes, we're gonna come together. And I think from my, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't know if there were like other things that like kind of like were small increments to it, but then you came up with this, which is Arden. And I'm gonna like toss it back up to you, Sheldon, and Eric, you can just chime in too. But let's talk about this project.
Yeah, I mean, Arden is crazy. I mean, this is I feel a little bit actually it's funny. Yeah, Eric's wearing the shirt right now, which is great.
You can buy it at the Raid World store.
Boom.
Go for it.
Yeah. But I think Eric can actually do. I'll jump in because I love these characters so much. This is something that we're working on together. But really, this is a project that Eric's been working on. I don't know, your whole life, would you say, man?
Yeah, Arden started in the basement, basically, of my good friend Joe Vereen's. You guys probably follow him, Joe Vereen, fantastic artist.
Yeah.
Very good friend of mine, incredible. Very good friend. And we were doodling in his bedroom, like when I don't even know how old I was, but I drew this like big boobed, surprise, surprise, anime looking person, like girl, and I threw this giant like dragon skull on her head, and I'm like, oh, like Dragon Queen, and I just ran with that, and then Arden just got huge, but I've been working on it for 20 plus years in different formats and different ways of kind of releasing it, and only kind of in the last 4 or 5 years have I really pushed for it out the door. When I was at Udon, they printed we got to do a creator-owned thing called Vent, and actually that's the second image, the last image. That's a painting from that 5-page story that was in there, and it kind of grew from there. Once we got into once I was doing an online comic with Raid / Transmission X at the time, and that's where Carl Kerschel, actually, that's where Abominable Charles Christopher started as well. Funny enough, online weekly comics, and so I was doing mine as well. And Arden story that's kind of now defunct. We've changed a lot of stuff, but it was like 86 pages. I was just trying something. It got me into the Raid Studios kind of, and then from there, I've just been slowly trying to work this more and more and more. And finally, back in 2016, 17, I think we did our first Raid Anthology, and I proceeded to do like an 8-page story on Makoto, which is I think the second or third image up there. And she's killing an ogre. And after that, I decided to start writing. I was really reading a lot of poetry, like what is it called? The Dante's Inferno. Yeah, that really started to inspire me.
Oh,
so
nice.
I got in my head that I can write. I'm a poet. I can write stuff anyway. So I started writing a poem, but it was based on a big Arden story that there's just no way I was going to finish it. Thank you. But I was like, what if I distilled it into a poem and I did illustration, like plates? I was a big fan, like I said, of Muka and those plates that are Art Nouveau. And I'm like, what if I did like 10 of these illustrations and did some, wrote a poem beside it kind of thing. So and that book was called The Devil's Leech. And right around then, when I was starting that project, Sheldon was, embarking on his writing career more and more. And the month of November is NaNoWriMo, which is you finish a story in a month or a novel in a month. And so he took on the challenge. That month turned into 5 years.
5 years, whatever. It's fine.
We don't have to say that. We don't have to say that it was 5 years in the making.
Yeah, but that's kind of like, and it was during that month that I was showing him ideas and telling him stuff about my poem, The Devil's Leech thing, and showing him drawings, and he was telling me all about his book he was about to start writing, or he was in the middle of, and we just immediately had like a strong connection, really good way of jamming with each other. Like he throw his ideas that he's working on something in his story, and I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. And we just kind of banter back and forth, and I'd tell him something I'm doing and whatnot, and a lot of cigars, a lot of whiskey on his back porch, and we had
oh yeah.
We just connected. I always call him my creative soulmate.
We had some great, some amazing talks, and it was cool, right? Because we were jamming on each other's projects a little bit, and we'd come up with these ideas, and it was cool because you could kind of spin them, and you'd see how like when you start, sometimes when you're a creator while by yourself, it's really hard to like you're always just forced, if you're just alone, to be spinning off your own ideas, and you kind of have to take distance from it. And there's all these different things. And once you start finding someone that you can jam with, man, it just takes off. And so luckily for me, right after the image you've got here, Gerald, this was from Raid 1. This is the one that Eric did by himself. And it was amazing. We started talking about the next anthology, and he asked me, because we were jamming so much about ideas, and I kind of was really in his world, because, when you're really being a collaborator with someone, you want to know, like you want to get deep, right? And so I started getting deep on these characters just from jamming. Like we were sitting out on my back deck, smoking and drinking, like Eric said. But you get so deep on these ideas that it just kind of made sense. I kind of knew the characters. I started to know the characters and what he wanted to do. And so we got together and we did We did the Raid 2 Anthology, which was an 8. Or no, wait, how many pages was that one?
I think that was
10. Maybe we went to 10 on that one.
Was,
so that's this image here.
Yeah,
and we got to.
Yeah, this is the last image of that, and heavily censored. But anyway,
but that's okay.
I see black bars anywhere.
There's no art, just black bars.
Well, we just want to know that the genesis of Eric's art started with the maze that led to boobs, and unfortunately, I have to deny the boobs for now.
Yeah. So. Yeah, so then we like the response to that. Actually, that's some of the coolest stuff, right? Is when you put something out, like we put out this anthology, and then we were sitting at Fan Expo in Toronto, and a fan came up and was just like, "Did you guys do this story? Did you do the story where there's the crazy birthing in it?" And we're like, yeah, we did. And they're just like, "Well, when's the next one? When's the next one?" And so which is cool, right? That's all you want as a creator.
Yes.
And so we got to do this one. This is out of Raid 3 that we did. And so that was another time where we got to collaborate and go deeper on these characters. And then we just kind of decided, I guess in the last year, number one, we were working on the next Raid anthology, so another art and story there, and then we decided to launch something on Instagram. So we're doing basically now. Oh, sorry, you hand up.
So speaking of launching something, so this image is called Chronicler, but that was an attempt at an online story, which we did on Wattpad.
Oh yeah, that still exists.
That still exists, heavily censored as well.
Yeah.
And but it was like the genesis of like, oh, well, that worked really well. Sheldon was having he loved that weekly post deadline. He was writing a lot more alongside his book, and we decided let's take it to Instagram, and we tried this Instagram story. So that was what you were going to.
Yeah, and that's where we are now. We're doing a story, and we're actually this is cool. Is that after the anthologies are amazing, because I think in the end people are going to look back at the anthologies like this amazing appendix that's going to give you all the backstory of the world, and the story that we're telling on Instagram is really the big grand story.
Or
that
the
I think.
Future. There's one story that's a little bit of the future. Maybe.
A little bit of the future, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Anyways,
we're gonna have to.
Sorry. Anyways, don't want to confuse anybody. We don't want to confuse anybody.
No spoilers here. I want to encourage everybody to go to that link tree and find that. In fact, we later on I'll actually show that Instagram page. But it was interesting because when I looked at the Instagram, it reminded me there's like it's like a webtoons or webcomics type formula, but you're using it with Instagram, where you have like a page of prose, and then you have an image and it's neat. I like the way that you're using Instagram in a way that I never would have thought of as a storytelling device, and I think that's really cool. And when I see this art, I love the idea. Like, this is what I really appreciate about your relationship with each other, is that you guys feed off that synergy between the two of you. You really want to, you see what each other's creations are, and then you're able to turn that back inside and say, hey, let me add to it, and let me show you what I think about it. And then that's the kind of relationship you want to have, because you're feeding off each other's energy, and then you get to produce this crazy, crazy good story, crazy good art. And
I think it's just Eric leeching, like he's just leeching the creativity for me. That's how I look at it.
I mean, you said it yourself earlier, Carol, that Eric is just someone who takes other people's styles and draw it.
I did not say that. I said he was.
That's how it's. I'm sure.
I'm basically an art thief. I'm a chameleon.
No. I was talking about his. Don't twist my words. I was saying Eric is a chameleon. He's so versatile.
No,
he can adapt styles. Yeah. That's basically what it is, and they're all Eric. This is his. I mean, he's adapted his styles. Like he mentioned about how. He was doing this style, and then of course he said it dried up, and I don't believe him. People just didn't know, they didn't see his artwork yet, and so he just sort of adapted, did another style, found another collaborator, and now he's found Sheldon, and you guys are creating some really crazy good stuff. And I guess that's a good segue to get into what we're going to talk about, which is to go back to Steal the Sun. And so let me show this artwork that we mentioned that Sheldon, this project is a novel. It's not a comic. It's not a graphic novel, but it is a novel. But that's still an independent creative project. And what's happening is that the two of you guys are working together, and Eric is still doing some visual support, for this. So I'm going to show this artwork. And,
yeah. No, it's really, it is really cool. Like actually one of the things for me, the best part about launching the project on Kickstarter for me was that instead of it just being like a book, you end up getting. Oh, I hear an echo. Who's echoing?
Oh, Gerald.
That is from
No,
Gerald.
it's not me. It's not me.
It is because I just muted you and it stopped. Try it now.
Let's
I'm
see,
talking now.
now.
No echo. No echo, right?
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah. Yeah, and just now, echo.
Okay. Sorry. Go ahead. Keep on talking.
Well, I'll keep talking.
Yes.
It's hard when you hear yourself. Because it's my voice, and I hate my voice. I mean, doesn't everyone hate their voice? Me more than most.
I don't like your voice either, man.
Yeah, I don't like your voice. I was about to say the same here. Keep me to it.
No one likes your voice, man. Just shut up. That's why you're a writer, not on radio, right?
Right.
So yeah, with the Kickstarter, I got to have art come into the book launch, right? So instead of it being like, okay, here's just the book, I've got an artist. Obviously, my cover artist by Douglas Logo is amazing. I've got a map that's being created by Reese York, which is fantastic.
Yeah.
Now Eric is contributing with a set of images so that all the backers are going to have even more art to understand the characters. So it's kind of like it lets me use the stuff that I like. I love the visual medium as well. And so now it gets to like kind of supplement it and enhance, I hope, the readers, the people who are supporting early on Kickstarter. Because this is the only way to get the stuff is through Kickstarter. Mm-hmm. It's not like it's going to be available after, right? So it's like the Kickstarter is going to come out. It's going to have all these little extras and art that's going to flourish it. And then eventually, of course, I'll release it wide and all that. But this is the only way to get it. So it's really cool to be able to bring in, my artist pals and creative soulmates like Eric and have them contribute to a project. Because he knows that he's had to listen to me drown on about these or drone. Didn't drown. Drone.
Wow.
Drone on about these characters.
Drown.
Yeah, you don't want to drown in characters, but droning about them is okay.
Yeah.
And so he's heard me drone on about them for years now. So it's really cool for him to start making his take. So it's amazing.
Yeah, I think you have such a great talent pool. That's like it is a novel, but there's if you go to, we're going to share that, we're going to go over the Kickstarter a little bit more in depth after the live drawings. I think this is a good. We're about 10 minutes into the first hour, so I think this is a good way for us to transition to our first drawing challenge. Ooh. And we're going to talk more about To Steal the Sun, but that's going to be later. Let's we're going to talk about Arden first, or draw a character from Arden first. So just so I'm clear, and then it'll give I guess Rick an opportunity to like steal the interview from me and
I finally
talk
get to say stuff.
He gets to talk. He gets to talk, and he gets to like control. But just to revisit it, this is their first collaboration, and it's kind of like I think this is kind of like, I'm going to say, Eric, this was kind of like your Spawn character. Like Todd McFarlane came up with Spawn back when he was a kid, and then
we didn't really pitch Arden. Like, we didn't really tell you what it's about. So maybe we should just give you like a little touch, just a little taste, right?
And I think that's what we're gonna do when we do the live drawing. That'll give you the opportunity to like both you and Eric to kind of just give a deeper idea of what they're about.
See now Gerald says that I'll be in control. Now he tells me what to talk about.
No, Sheldon actually.
Sorry, my fault. Okay, that's it.
I was just agreeing with Sheldon. So, but that being said, this for our audience, this is the part of the show. It is the live drawings. We're going to be our very first one. And just like our previous live drawings that we do here, we encourage audience participation. So if you see this character, this is the one that we're going to draw. I want you to do a screen capture of this right now. This character is Makoto. Is that correct? Did I pronounce her name correctly? I don't know anything about this character except that it's a kick-ass character design. It's just when you look at illustrations like this, you see them and you wonder, when you can see something like this and you wonder what their story is. It's so compelling versus just straight up pinups that are, they're pretty, but there's no story behind it. This is pretty, and you also wonder what this character is about, like what, her whole look. And I think this is where, when we get into the live drawing, aside from what Rick wants to ask as well, this is where we're going to learn a little bit more about it. So if you're going to draw along with us, do a screen capture right now. And we're going to get our art cams ready to go. So
Mary's asking if there's a link to a high-res version.
High-res version.
If that's doable. If not.
Yeah, well, let me zoom in here because I don't know. I want to respect our artists in terms of not just putting their art out there unless they want to. But I'm going to zoom in, and you can just do some screen capture so we can get some better screen captures. So let me zoom in here. Oh my gosh, I didn't realize. Look at these screen tones that you put in there as well, which really just adds to it.
I like the little halftone basic
color. Very, very cool. Let me so I'm zooming in more. I think it was Maverick or Marius. If you want to do your screen capture here, look at the intricacies and these costume details. I get everything from samurai vibes to Viking vibes. I mean, there's just so much in here that that you can just eat up. So do one screen capture here. Let me scroll down a little bit, and you can see some of these weapons that she has and her armor embellishments. Do another screen capture, and then here we have this wolf, which and you have this symbol that's on his forehead as well as hers, or maybe this is a she-wolf. I don't know, but we're going to learn all about it. So let me zoom out again. Please do a screen capture of this, and I see that Eric already has his art cam ready to go. I'm going to add mine in there, and I'm officially going to hand everything over to Rick, and he can talk. He can talk. So you and Sheldon have at it, and Eric, you chime in whenever you want, and let us know the time when the clock starts ticking, Rick. It's all up to you.
Yeah. Okay. So 15 minutes from now.
All right.
So Sheldon, one quick question, and then I'll forget all about this part. This, what happened to Jade Empire 2? You're muted, Sheldon. You're muted.
Oh, the only reason what happened to Jade Empire 2? The only answer I can give would be that I left the company before Jade Empire 2 got off its feet. So as soon as I blame myself,
Because I read somewhere that it was in the making and everything, and then suddenly, boom, Dragon Age instead.
It's a fantastic. Jade Empire is a fantastic project, and I wish. You never know, right? You never know what those guys are going to do. Maybe there'll be a sequel still. You never know.
People, I know there's Reddit blogs and everything about fans, and I loved the art most specifically.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, no, it is fantastic.
So, Arden, what is it about, and and why should we and why should we be interested?
Well, imagine a world where technology is smashing into a fantasy world. So, a place where you had a fantasy world that was kind of ticking away. I wouldn't say it was a typical fantasy world. It's a pretty esoteric one, but all of a sudden a kind of technology smashes into it and brings a whole different level of a type of magic, because I think a sufficient technology is magic, comes and starts pushing in and encroaching on the world of the natural. So Arden is about the conflict between the natural and the technological, and then it's about these characters and the families that form in the struggle between those two things. So yeah, that's it. That's it in a nutshell. That's my a new Hans Gruber falling out for Arden.
She's also, this character in particular is a maiden of the horn. So there's a lot of that backstory we still have to talk about and share. So we don't want to talk too much about it, but
no, but yeah, the Makoto. So right now, like I said, there's the webcomic that's webcomic. I don't know what we call our thing that we're doing on Instagram. It's our Instagram story. And on the Instagram story, it's Sea of Exiles. And it's about characters that kind of are lost after the war between technology and fantasy. Hint, technology won. And the fantasy world is pushed to the very fringes. So we're starting this story, the Sea of Exile story is kind of like I would say if I was to compare it, it would be kind of like a like Firefly meets Avatar: The Last Airbender, where you've got characters on the journey on the outskirts trying to kind of find their way, trying to fit into this world that isn't what they had before, and
Nice.
And through that journey they start figuring out ways that maybe they could well, I don't want to give away too much, but you know, they're going to figure out the way to fight that.
I mean, you sold me by saying Firefly, so I'm
oh
in.
There we go. Perfect.
I'm in.
Good,
anything
good.
with fire, anything that people say it's kind of like Firefly, I'm usually in. Most of the times I get disappointed, but I got a feeling from what I mean, it is Firefly. When you put yourself up with Firefly, you have to deliver, right?
Totally.
But I do believe that you guys can do it.
Thanks, Rick. Appreciate it. Yeah, we're trying. I mean, we really like. There's so many things about that when you have that kind of dynamic team character, you know, like a team dynamic, so that each character has their own role. I mean, Makoto, who these guys are drawing right now, she's kind of fascinating because she went into the war against Tech as like a general, and she's a super capable warrior. And as Eric was saying, she's a maiden of the horn. And when, you know, after the battle's over and it's lost, I mean, she kind of retreats into herself. She ends up, you know, becoming a little more, she's more interested in, well, at least on the surface, she tries to show herself as someone who's more interested in a drink and a good time than in the serious conflicts. But, you know, she's struggling with it. So I think all of our characters, we try to do this layer where they have that, where it's like, okay, this is what you think they are, but then there's all this depth that's going to reveal. And I think, you know, when you talk about Firefly, those are some of the things that I love the most about that series.
Absolutely.
Right. Is the revealing of depth. I know it was short, you know, it was only a short miniseries, but I think we ended up really learning about each of them. And so that's what we're trying to do with Arden.
Yeah.
I like that whole sales pitch for sure. I'm in.
Well, it's unrehearsed, so I'm glad. That's off the cuff, so that's cool.
Now we got to deliver.
Now looking forward to your rehearsed version.
Yeah, exactly. I have to work on that.
Yeah, when you come back here, when you're ready to promote it and give us the rehearsed sales pitch.
Yeah, you're gonna just be blown away. You're gonna just be like, "Wow, that's it. Get it."
Yeah. You're just gonna say 2 words.
So are you thinking about like collecting the web or the Instagram thing into like a book? Or are you?
Yeah, that's our goal. That's a good question. So yeah, like what we're hoping for is we want to, you know, slowly build up so people can understand the world and understand the characters through what we're doing with the web. And then of course, like I said, we have all these stories that are going in the anthologies as well. And our goal would be to collect it into like a cohesive group. Maybe Eric will color it or somebody will color
well, we're probably gonna hire someone.
Yeah, whatever. We'll talk about that later. It'll be colored, and then hopefully, because I'm churning out the stories on a week-to-week basis, I'd love to have an edit pass as well. But you know what I mean? Like, just really polish it up and get it to exactly the way we want it to be. But I think it's cool because the Instagram is a way that people can learn about it, and they can be on the ground floor. They can see everything that we're doing with it. So yeah, that's kind of the eventual hope for us, is that, you know, maybe it's not this year because we'd like to spend the year really developing it out, and so that, you know, when we get to the point where we're like, hey, we're going to kickstart this, people can look at it and they're like, yeah, I love this. Like, it's like what you were saying, Rick. It's like, well, is it delivering on the, you know, they'll know it's delivered on it. So now we want to see it all together.
Yeah. So I got a question here from Marius. Concept-wise, what's the most intriguing concept from this, in your own personal opinion, as its creator? And I'm guessing it's the character here he's referring to.
Oh, what's the most intriguing? Well, I love drawing beautiful women. So
really, what?
And strong females, you know, warriors. Like, I just love that shit. And I love when you come across like other characters that you've seen out there, and they have kind of an animal familiar, or they're in touch with nature, and I love all that stuff too. And so wolves are the best. In my Makeshift Monday, I call myself the Black Wolf. I don't know why, I just thought it was cool. Anyway, but And he kind
of actually from my role-playing campaign, actually.
He started
that's why. That's right. My role-playing campaign, you jumped in as the Black Wolf, and then you're like, man, this is awesome. This is cool. I need to keep that name.
Well, it's also, it kind of came from a character in our Raid 4 a little bit.
That's true.
I was dubbing him.
Jeez, I forgot about that too. Yeah, wow.
Black
it's
Wolf,
everywhere.
And I kind of started to draw him like myself, but way better looking, obviously. But
is that even possible?
Yeah, thank you.
Oh, yeah, laid it on thick.
But and then Makoto in response was the White Wolf, so I was like, oh, that kind of works too. And so yeah, I don't know. I love samurai. I love armor designing. And I think I've mentioned I like drawing women, so strong women. So, and I think it's fucking cool. I don't know.
Yeah, it is.
I just want to draw shit that I love, and that's the shit. That's what it is, and it starts there. So I just kind of steal everything, obviously, as you've seen, and show all the coolest stuff from people that I admired and applied into my own and ardentify it. So,
ardentify it. There's a word. There's a new word.
But yeah.
I really
Sorry.
You're the guest, so you're the first one to speak.
Oh no, that's it. I'll just ramble about nothing.
So you spoke a little about campaigns, Sheldon, so both of you are Dungeons and Dragons people.
Well, that campaign was actually pretty fun for me because it was kind of like a hybrid system I created myself.
Nice.
And we did it was like an adventures in Rome. So I wanted to have the characters to take this adventure into ancient Rome and like go hunt in that time period for like the treasure of Alexander the Great and that type of stuff. So we did like a small campaign with these guys, and Eric was definitely in there as you were like a Gaul or something, weren't you, Eric?
I was just cool. That's all I was.
All right.
Yeah, cool. That is the best description ever.
Sure.
I was just a cool guy.
Yeah.
Description of character.
I basically saved our party many times with my cool ideas.
More or less. Maybe less. That's fine. Yeah, it's good. So yeah, but we definitely are. Like I love tabletop gaming for sure, and yeah, it's one of those things that's kind of cool when you work with a lot of people in the gaming sphere, as obviously we do since we both work in games. There's the idea of getting those type of campaigns set up and having some really creative designers in your party and seeing what the characters as a group come up with is really exciting as a game master. And then hopefully it's fun as a player too. But that was one of those pandemic things. It's like, how are we all going to get together and hang out? Well, let's go online and do some role-playing games. It was super fun.
With whiskey and cigars.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Well, that's
whenever possible.
Yeah, yes. That's we might even have one today.
probably after this. Yeah.
But
to be able to handle all the censoring you have been doing, yeah.
Mm-hmm,
yeah.
It's looking great, guys. You guys are both pushing along here. Gerald's got a lot of detail in there already too. Wow.
Oh, that's nice.
I can't look. I'm gonna want to just stare at what Eric is doing. I have to like resist the temptation, but I have to say this character design is just awesome. I see the samurai influence, the Eastern influences, but like I said, it's a imagined culture. But when I look at her armor, it's like it feels like it's there's such a built-in narrative to your character design. So when the two of you guys were working on this, like was there like an established lore already, or did you just sort of develop it as you went along?
Well, sorry.
No, go on. Hey, I was just gonna lecture Joel that he just said that I was gonna ask all the questions.
It was a natural follow-up. But go ahead.
This character. So I was speaking earlier about that poem book, The Devil's Leech, and this particular image, and the other two that you showed earlier in the show. Those are some of the plates that were in that Devil's Leech. And I decided to take these three characters and color those plates. And so that's where I designed. That's where these designs came from. I was like, how can I make this? She's wolf-born. She's a maiden of the horn. So it's like, how's that look? And I try to incorporate all these like crazy details that now I'm like, holy shit, why'd I put so much detail in here? But anyway.
I'm looking at it too, like going, where do I put that that detail.
Well, actually, looking at Eric's screen, this is kind of funny because you could see. So what we wanted to do with Sea of Exiles is we wanted to start the characters from
start a little easier.
Start a little easier. So obviously she's in a much
how little clothing can I put on her?
Yeah. We ratcheted her back, but I mean, our goal, of course, is like, in any awesome, progression fantasy, eventually they get back to this. So it's not like he's going to get to avoid it forever.
Yeah,
and there's a story reason for that too.
Yeah, and I absolutely love. I love the idea of like characters leveling up, getting armor, getting new things. That's why I love video games so much, and that's totally going to happen with this crew, right? I can't wait to design the future stuff that's going to be out for this stuff.
5 more minutes.
5 minutes.
Oh, I'm pretty much done. Cool. I can start another one.
Time goes fast. So I must admit, I'm not big fan of the game, but I'm always been fan of the concept designs and characters in the game of League of Legends.
Oh yeah.
And for some reason, when I saw the character here first, I was like, hey, this could easily be a League of Legends character. Just
I probably stole it. And
no, not as if it was taken from the characters, but it could be in the same universe because of the design idea and the thought put into the character concept design. So I meant it as a compliment.
I appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, I like that game too. They have a lot of wild ideas in there.
And another game where they just are able to put so much artistic differences into it and still make it work. Kind of like, as I mentioned, with Warframe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Warframe really is a game where when you see Warframe, the aesthetic right away. However, as soon as you become a player and you start digging in, then you start seeing that it's like this wild, there's all sorts of different styles because we've created this world where you can go into all these different places and then you see a different, it's still kind of that Warframe vibe, but it's got its own little twist, like even with Eric's chibis, right? Like they still exist, they coexist, and the skateboard stuff coexist in this world that has been designed that way, which is kind of neat.
I really when I first tried it, I think I ended up spending like 2 weeks playing, forgetting that I had to work.
Good. I like that.
Because I was just
more. Yeah, that's good.
I was just put into the gameplay in itself is out of this world and completely different from anything else. Still to this day, people haven't been able to copy it as it usually happens when you have a successful game. People want to copy it. Yep. And the story and the art and the concept designs, cool. Everything about it is just good. And I also have to say, now that I'm speaking of the games, Darkness 2 is to this day still my absolute favorite first-person shooter game.
Oh, whoa! Well, thank you. Yeah, man. That game was an absolute labor of love. Like as is Warframe. There's a couple games I think for the studio from the portfolio side, especially in the last few years for sure. Those two are the ones that we all kind of are proud of, and we loved what we did with it. Darkness, for me, Darkness 2 was a insane obsession to the point where, I missed the first 2 years of my son's life. I have no idea. I just have no recollection because I just worked. 101. Yeah, I just worked constantly through that.
When you were done working, they were like, wait, I got a son?
Wow. Yeah, it's like, wait, oh crap, he's 2 years old already?
Any more? Do I have any more?
Yeah. Oh, I got another one too. Wow, how did this happen? Anyways.
You can just tell your son, I did this for you.
Well, luckily the 2-year-old, he doesn't remember much, right? He's like now he's had me post Darkness where
and you're a good writer, so you can just make up great stories.
Totally.
How those first two were.
Here's all. Yeah, let me tell you a story about what we did when you were 1. It's great.
Yeah. Wow. You were hunting your first elk up in the Canadian woods at 1.
You were in my backpack carrying the arrows. It was amazing.
Speaking of Rick, how much time do we got, Rick?
1 minute.
1 minute. Ooh.
Oh my gosh.
Put the wolf in here quick.
Go fast, guys. Go fast. You guys can do it.
Okay, Eric, I'm going to let you in on a little secret. If you feel like you need more time, not me, if you
No, he
feel
was
like
done
you-
already. Yo, stop trying.
you can ask for more time, and Rick
Eric,
has to give it to you.
do you hear what he's trying to
Hey,
do?
Makoto just said it's done. So
Yeah, done.
Oh no. Okay, I'm not gonna.
Oh,
get
so
any,
you're done before the minute is the final minute. Okay, pencils down then.
No, I want my full minute. I want my full minute.
Well, and some people wanted boobs, but we didn't get those, so you don't get your full minute.
This armor's see-through, so you can see a little.
Oh, stop.
Yeah.
It's just two little circles. Come on.
Okay, but now for real though, pencils down.
Good job, guys.
Yeah.
Man, didn't get enough time, but anyway.
Didn't get enough time.
I didn't get enough time.
I give you 15.
Oh, this looks phenomenal.
Oh, it's
I like
loose, but
I like this new setup with this new display overlay here. I've never done this before.
That looks
Nice. And we can
fantastic.
look up at, wow, that looks great up there.
Yeah.
Oh.
Hey, don't look under there, Sheldon.
Oh, you put me there. You put me there, Rick. That's not me. Oh, there we go.
there you go.
Look at that grid.
I'm doing this for the protection of the guests.
Of the guest. Thank you. I appreciate that.
It looks so.
That's what I do.
Yeah, this looks
Awesome.
great in this short time. Oh man, this is just phenomenal.
Yeah, that's cool. Looking great, man.
Yeah. So, Rick, did anybody from our audience draw along with us? Hopefully,
Marek is still working on it, so he will probably be a few minutes. And knowing Marius, he will also probably be like a few seconds. He usually says his is done when we are ready to move on.
Perfect.
So,
that's what you got to do. Yeah.
But we do have one here. From,
we do. Okay, let's check it out.
One person that luckily always draws with us, Sarah Semper. Hang on, I will share it as 1 second. I'm doing it as fast as I can, and boom.
And Marius is done too.
Great.
Boom.
Oh, look at that!
Nice.
That's great. Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, Sarah she's a big fan of like the Japanese manga anime style.
Sure.
She's a big fan of those mediums. Plus, she loves Disney, so she kind of like mixes those styles up.
Yeah, it looks great. It's so surreal having people draw my characters or our characters. Like that's it's next level.
Indeed.
I'm very, very thankful and blessed. So appreciate
It's always fun. I can imagine. It's always fun to see artists' reactions when they come here and see our fans drawing along.
That's cool.
I'm waiting for it to upload, but Mary said he was done, but it's not showing on the art show for some reason.
Not yet.
Not yet, no. But internet and all that can be slow.
There we go.
Okay.
More time. I know. Yeah. 15
So
while
we wait, let's look at Gerald's.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, let's.
Gerald's. Yeah.
Oh, right on, dude. Nice.
Cool. Yeah, I totally dug that whole Samara vibe. Like she's getting ready to pop the sword there to like vanquish somebody, and she's like looking down on them.
Yeah, lots of detail in the armor.
You made her left-handed, I see.
Oh well, that's just because of I only had room to put her hand right there. So
no,
I'm gonna say
she can use both hands. She's very
good.
Very deadly.
Thank you for the save.
Yep.
Yeah.
Thanks
I wanted to say the word, but I didn't know how to say it right. So
that's okay. That's why I'm here, bud.
That's why you're here.
Yep.
Right.
Voluntarily.
You're not here for the words. That's Sheldon's job, right?
That's right. That's my job.
Yeah, the words are all Sheldon. So.
That looks great, dear. I love how everyone interprets the armor their own way a little bit and adds their own little spin to it. I think it's fantastic. That's great.
Yeah, I actually I'm gonna finish, or I'm gonna revisit this because I love your character design, and it's just really.
I have seen yours, Marius. I'm just waiting for a proper time to change up, which is now, because I just interrupted Gerald. So here we go.
Oh, beauty. Look at that. That's fantastic.
Nice.
Yeah, very cool. Wow. That's so cool.
Super speedy.
I love it. Nice.
Yeah. I like that profile.
Yeah, that is.
That's
cool
superb.
shot,
I need everyone to send me their finished art of these characters or all their drawings. I love seeing fan art.
Yeah. And in fact, just like with all of our guests, if you want to refine these pieces, or if you just want to leave them like they are, just share it with us, Eric, and we'll post it to the art show and to like our Comics Cast page, so people can see it, and we can plug them to, like, if they missed your video appearance, they can go watch it on demand. So please share that artwork whenever you feel like you're ready. To do that.
Joe, just to answer Joe, I do not see
Joe
yours.
drew along too. Okay,
no,
let's see it.
It's not uploaded as I just. I do not see his.
Okay.
His is not here, so maybe try and re-upload it or send it to my
chat.
GM.
Yeah, send it directly to Rick. Rick, do you want to wait for that, or do you want to go ahead and go into your Rick challenge?
I think let's just move on, and whatever we'll come up later, we'll show it no matter what, of course.
Yes,
so you'll not be forgotten, guys. Don't you worry.
All right. So that being said, that is officially the end of our first live drawing challenge, and I encourage everybody to check out.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah, it's love the character. Looking forward to where you're going to go with it. Just know that this story is a little bit on hiatus because you want to focus on the Kickstarter campaign, but the Sea of Exiles is going to be the latest installment, and that's where you're going to see the next chapter.
That's right. Yeah, there's a lot there to dig into. Sorry, buddy. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Each week, there's our plan has been was once a week. You get usually the Tuesdays. I post a page of comic page, and I break it down by panels. You can swipe it, and then that Thursday, which we were doing that pretty steadily for a while there, which is great. You get maybe 10 up to 10 swipes of Sheldon's prose, about 1,000 words or so, and it's fantastic for me. It so inspires me to work on the next page following that prose, because again, it's like seeing fan art. It's like I see someone else take the story and they put their love into it and the care, and it just inspires me so much. So it's
a nice ping pong for sure. Both of us getting to kind of flex our creative muscles at the same time, inspire each other. So it's super fun.
Yeah,
it's really fun to read for sure.
Yeah, and like I always say, people come for the art, but they stay for the prose.
And I think that's to follow up on that whole process that you guys are doing. I think that actually kind of maybe alleviates some of the stress of like having to produce like a whole page or a whole book, right away, because you get, like, for lack of a better word, instant gratification. You can read the prose and go, hey, I already have an idea of how I want to do this illustration. And then when you do the illustration, it's like all of a sudden like Sheldon can say, hey, I already know what the follow-up is going to be because I saw where you're going with this. And then it's like you said, the ping pong, and you don't have to worry about like, oh, do I have to like compose all the panels in a sequential to read a certain way and then get it inked and colored? You can kind of get that instant like feedback from each other. And I think that's going to be great, because when it's all compiled together, that'll even be a bigger surprise, because you can kind of say, hey, we did a different formula, but it still had the great storytelling, the great art still come out of it.
Well, that's what I think is cool about it, is that, like, I mean, what are the strengths of each of the medium, and how can you combine those, right? So like from a audience perspective, it's like, okay, I'm going to read the prose and I can get inside these characters' heads. Like I can understand literally what they've been thinking and feeling as they go through these things. And then when you kick over to the comics, you're getting the emotion, like you're seeing that play out right on them. And then, like for me as a writer, some things that are amazing are, I don't have to spend a whole time talking about what Makoto looks like. Like I can say it. Sure, I can talk about it. It's not like I'm going to not identify her, but I don't have to have like a paragraph saying she's wearing this, her horns are like this, her face kind of was this shape. I don't have to talk about all that, because the audience is introduced to images where she's doing stuff, right? And I think the reverse is true maybe for, and I'm not sure about this for Eric, but that he can cut to the parts that you really want to show. You don't have to have 100%. Those filler scenes where the character's sitting there thinking for a long time, or even just the conversation panels, right? We have a lot of conversation. It's really important, but sometimes that's a lot of drawing that you're having to do that's not really getting there. Whereas the prose, I can do all that because I can be telling a massive story in the background while they're having, there's tidal waves coming in over the boat as they have this quick conversation, and you feel the tension, and then you kick to the comic, and they're in it, right?
Yeah. And I like what also really appealed to me about this approach is that you can tell so much more in a paragraph, or in Sheldon's case, 1,000 words. Like, I can't draw that in a page. I can't draw that probably in 10, 20 pages. Like, so like we get to kind of pick and choose where we're gonna, make our mark art wise and make our mark story wise, and it's like we kind of fill in the gaps that we're intentionally leaving each other, right? And it's super inspiring, and I don't think I've ever seen it done, and that also is interesting and exciting. I mean, it's provided some challenges, but it's like I think it's working so far, and at the end of the day, we're really stoked about it, and that's not to sound like a dick, but that's the most important thing is we're stoked about it. We're happy about it, right? We're really excited. So
here's another one.
This is from Maverick.
Yep.
Maverick. Yeah. They're Marius' brother.
Oh man, very cool.
They both have the artistic gene.
That's amazing, guys.
I love it so much. I love that everyone's just interpreting their own and adding their own little something to it. And it's still all just her, because it inspires me to see all this art. This is great. It's fantastic.
Absolutely. I totally blown away. And I have to say that it must be such a great feeling to see, have that connection. Your characters in your story are resonating with our audience, and then they want to draw Makoto too. So
now they're going to steal it and do something better with it.
Well, it's not about better. It's like you're inspiring, and I like the whole process. I like what you guys are doing with it, because it, I think that's we mentioned about how you don't have to go into deep, like 1,000, 2,000 words, and you don't have to draw an entire sequential. You can use the powers of both of them to still tell an effective story. And I think that's really, really cool. So I think we're still, Joe Tolliver, when you get your drawing together, just let us know. We'll show it a little later on, but let's keep the show going. Let's get to Rick's challenge, because I know Rick is just like chopping at the bit. He's ready to make me squirm. Freakazoid style.
No, there's no Rick, Freakazoid this time.
No Freakazoid. Okay, all right. So Rick, tell us about drawing number 2, live drawing number 2, the Rick challenge.
So I did some research like beforehand, because that's what you to get an idea. And the first thing that hit me when I saw your art and read on the Kickstarter about the novel was it was heavily fantasy based, was what I took from it. And my first thought were, oh, damn echo again.
Blame it on me.
Yeah. But so I thought these guys got to be D&D fans, and that's why I had to ask you, and I was right. Apparently. So with that being said, the challenge is going to be Dungeons and Dragons based.
Ooh. Okay. All
right. Look at Yarrow squirming already, because he remembered what happens last time I had him with Dungeons and Dragons. Anyways, as you can see here,
he's got a wheel here. What does this mean?
This is the wheel of Yarrow's misfortune, as I like to call it. But here I actually got 2 wheels, Sheldon. You deserve 2 wheels, not just one.
I like it.
And not just one. The first one is a lot of races.
Yeah.
As you can see, there's everything from elf to Harengon and Loxodon.
Oh my gosh!
Oh, there's a centaur, Eric.
And centaur and minotaur.
I don't even know what some of these races are.
I don't even know what some of these races are. Yeah, I have no idea what some of these are.
Is that, and Sheldon, seeing you're a writer, I used to take the writers' ideas with me. Is there more races you'd like added?
Whoa! I mean, looking at this list, this looks pretty. Oh, you put a Dragonborn on there. I was thinking about ones that Eric would love to draw, but then I was trying to think of like, what would he hate Like I was like, how do I add? What's the race that Eric would hit? Oh, you got a dwarf on there already.
Dwarf in there. Yeah.
You know what? Just so that it's stacked a little bit, throw a halfling in there too.
Yeah.
Because he's kind of like anti-dwarf from a D&D race perspective. He's not anti-dwarf in general, but he's anti-dwarf from a D&D. So like I think I like the idea of a halfling being in there. So there's 2 chances that something like that.
Oh, here we go.
I mean, there's also a fairy, so there's a lot of small people.
True. Oh yeah, put a gnome in there too.
Yeah,
why not? Okay.
Yeah.
It's definitely going to be stacked.
Sorry to make it so big. Anyways.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Okay, so this is the races, and this is the classes. You all know. You all know them. This is just the basic classes. There, I didn't add subclasses and specialty classes because they kind of look like each other. So
let's all hope for a dwarf bard.
That's also.
Yeah, I can't wait.
That's also
Andrew's
why
going, yippee!
that's also why I didn't add. I only added wizard and not like sorcerer because that's basically the same thing.
Okay.
So, do you have any like a special class you want to add?
I mean, you put all the base. I think that's a great way. Yeah. And subclasses aren't going to really hit. I think this is good. I'd like to see this combo. Yeah.
Okay, so
samurai in there, but that's fine.
Are you ready to go first, Eric? Or do you want Diablo to go first, seeing you're the guest?
Oh, you guys decide. I'm easy peasy.
Okay, Sheldon.
Yeah, let's roll it.
Let's roll it for Diablo or Eric.
Yeah, let's go for Eric and
let's go for Eric.
Make sure
Eric
you
first.
get a dwarf.
Eric first.
Halfling.
Come on, baby.
Almost.
Dragonborn.
Now we come to the point where I'm gonna ask Sheldon, this count, or should I?
First roll never counts. Yeah, try again.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I just started drawing.
I was looking forward to Eric's Dragonborn.
Okay.
Satyr.
Yeah, Satyr. Okay, all right. That hopefully it's a small one. Okay.
Satyr, and let's see the class for the Satyr here.
What does the Satyr look like again?
It's a kind of like
goat legs and ears
and horns.
A
Kinda
rogue
like
satyr.
A satyr rogue, eh? Okay.
Sounds.
What'd you say? Sorry, satyr. What?
Satyr what?
Those with those people with goat legs and have horns. Like
okay.
goat
Do you remember the old Hercules cartoon, Eric? Did you ever watch that?
Yeah.
You remember Toot? Like the little there's
the trainer.
Yeah.
Trainer.
The trainer.
All right.
I don't know. But
Okay, let's try. Let's see for Gerald here.
Because Rick will keep on spinning it until he feels that I've suffered enough.
Nah. Dragon, no.
That's too much fun. Dragonborn's too much fun. That's
too much. It's called Wheel of Gerald's Misfortune, not.
What do I got? Centaur.
Oh, I went to Centaur.
That's kind of Centaur.
Yeah, that's probably hard to draw. You should do that one.
Let's see.
No, not yet.
No, I don't get the Centaur.
No, unfortunately.
Goblin.
Do I get Goblin, Rick?
He doesn't like Goblin either. He's got a certain idea.
I think it's gonna be Centaur again.
You know what? You get Centaur.
Okay, Centaur. Okay.
Oh, please be a Centaur rogue.
No. It'll be like a Centaur wizard. That would have been weird.
Let's see. A Centaur warlock. Okay.
What's the difference between a wizard and a warlock? Is there
a wizard is more good, whereas a warlock is more like with chaos magic and on death magic.
Yeah, like stick a wand in a warlock's hand or a symbol, something like that.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right,
like
so
more
Centaur
evil.
Yeah, a little more
evil. For the people drawing along at home, this is for you.
Oh, they're gonna get the hardest one. Watch.
They're gonna get all the halfling nonsense.
Yeah.
They're gonna get the shitty dwarves.
Oh, you get the dragonborn.
Yes, they can have the dragonborn.
The
dragons. That's why we kept getting dragonborn.
You get the dragonborn rogue.
Oh, dragonborn and rogue. Wow.
I've already got a rogue. I don't know if you should roll it again.
Okay. Okay, so there we go.
Okay.
You got your assignments, gentlemen. I hope you're happy. And start drawing. You got 20 minutes from now.
Okay. All right. Trying to think.
I need to I'm gonna grab like a player's handbook or something and just take a look here.
You grab a pencil, Sheldon.
Well, I actually started to, and then I was like, that's too bad. Like my drawings.
I was really hoping for Bugbear to be on Jewels.
Yeah, that would have been good.
Yeah.
What is it? I didn't even know what that is.
A Bugbear is basically just a troll mixed with a bear.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. That would have been tough. Very tough.
Exactly.
So Eric, you're drawing a satyr. Yeah. I don't think this is up.
Yeah, I got my dndbeyond.com.
Oh, there you go. You're taking a look. That can be a dare we compare, right?
The best place to wait. You have to look up real quick.
Mm-hmm.
So, are you mostly a DM, or do you like to play characters?
I get to play sometimes. And it's not, I think for me, like for writing came from DMing. Like I used to DM as a kid all the time.
Same here.
And so because of that, I think that's what made me develop like wanting to create the full story. Cause players are so unpredictable. They do what they want. And the best part of, if you're a good DM, you roll with it, right? You let them do their things.
Roll with it. I like that.
Yeah, you got it.
You gotta roll with it.
Pun intended.
Pun intended.
But yeah, if you get that like that kind of like making stories like that are just, it's amazing when you can do the freeform, like not follow a module and just kind of like, oh, what could be cool? Let's put the players on trial now or whatever. That type of stuff made me want to DMing, like I said, made me want to write. But if I'm given the opportunity to play, man, playing's so much fun. Right. Just take like 80% of the workout and just enjoy like, what you can do. So yeah, I get to play once every couple of years, but usually for me, I end up DMing. What about you?
Me, I was a mix because I also liked playing with playing as the characters, and what I ended up liking the most was randomizing absolutely everything about my character and just go along with it, which which is tough when you get a full heavy orc rogue, with the subclass as Shadow Dancer.
Oh geez.
Imagine a big
so there's no synergy at all.
None at all. But I made it. I just made it like a more like a comedic character.
Sure. Yeah, that's where you can have fun. Yeah, I like that angle too. Like when you get the situation where you can, where you play kind of something that is really cool from a role playing perspective. I've managed to have a couple bards that, as much as for the longest time, I'm like, who wants to play a bard? But then you start like digging into the role playing potential when you look at the spell list, and it's like a spell's called Vicious Mockery, and I'm like, okay, now I just have to like come up. I'm not casting the spell in combat until I come up with an insult. Like I better say an insult when I do this to whatever's happening. That stuff's pretty fun, right?
I had a friend that was a bard who also happened to be a really good rapper that could just make rhymes on the make rhymes. So he had to, every time he had a spell, he started just rapping a few lines about it and everything. That was really cool.
Oh yeah, that sounds fun.
Nice.
So go ahead.
No, your turn. You're the
guest. I was gonna keep digging. I mean, as we're watching these guys draw, I was gonna say, like, what is the craziest character you've ever played then? Was that it?
I think it was because that was the hardest. No, I know normally just goes for the as normal character and classes as possible, because I want to start as simple as possible and then let it progress on its own. Even though people didn't like, a lot of people I played with was like, let's start at level like 20 and go from there and already be overpowered. I'm like, that's no fun.
No, you got to start at 0.
Yeah, it's your character.
Sometimes you can. Sometimes I'll let players like get away with like, let's start at like 3. just because there's a few interesting things more about your class at that point, like, so you just don't have to push it through. But yeah, I mean, you gotta, it's about progression. You want to start and watch your character build up, right?
Yeah, and you simple backstory as well, so it's kind of feels like that the story of your character starts here and now,
for sure,
instead of having like a heavily detailed 5-page background story, and that the DM is supposed to be able
somehow
to remember.
Incorporate. Yeah, exactly.
Incorporate.
Yeah, that's no good.
I really dislike it. What about you, Eric? I guess you're a player more than a DM, or is it a mix?
I'm kind of a new addition. I only really started playing like last year, and I like all the ranger classes. I like
dwarves,
any sword stuff. I love dragons and.
You played Dragonborn, didn't you? The
one time I played Dragonborn when we were at the raid retreat.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, right. I forgot about that campaign. That was funny too. Yeah.
Hello,
hey,
everyone.
Jim O'Reilly saying hello as well. So we got a nice looking satyr here already coming up.
Starting up. Yeah. How's
Joel's looking? He's almost done.
No.
No. Listen to him panic.
Yeah, I'm like trying to figure out how I'm gonna do my layout here. I saw you said Jim O'Reilly's on there. Jim, draw along with us. Yeah.
Yeah. What about you in chat, guy? If you ever played Dungeons and Dragons, tell us about your craziest character you've played. I had once where I was playing a halfling because I like being the annoying provocative character.
Right.
I mean that may come as a surprise, but I chose that because there was this person in the group that's really, they were always like really high on themselves, like in real life. So the character had to be a tiefling demon, which is a half demon or something similar.
Yeah, it looks kind of looks like a satyr actually.
Yeah, and really overpowered, and they were really acting emo with the character, and so I had to make a halfling to just piss the character off, which also.
Oh my gosh.
Well.
Yeah, that I always found one of the most annoying yet fun, and if you can get your kind of if you can kind of try to get your player base to, or your people you're playing with to be cool with it, is if you do like a paladin that's lawful good. So right, and so no one can kill anything. You never want them to break the law. Like it takes a lot. Like they have to do. You like force the other players to kind of play around you, so they don't have to deal with you getting mad at them.
Oh yeah, I love that as well.
Those are cool. But I mean, and then it's kind of neat though when you can have the player when you can change too, which I love that in stories and in role-playing games. If you can do stuff and have events where either the players want to, like when I'm DMing, the players kind of want to alter their character because of the events of the story, right? Something has changed them. And so for myself, I remember when I played that paladin, it was really cool because we ended up shifting him to like dark paladin by the end because people in his party got killed and he lost faith, but then found faith in the dark god. It was like, that type of stuff's awesome too, right?
I was the most roleplay I've ever played was actually on a role-playing server on World of Warcraft. I was the main writer of campaigns.
Cool. There. Nice. So what about comic-wise? Have you guys read any like fantasy comics? Like what's your favorite fantasy comic, Rick?
Well, Conan the Barbarian.
Yep.
For me, is without a doubt my favorite.
Oh, I have this one. This is sweet. Somebody just gave me this. I don't know if you can. I guess we're watching these guys draw.
Yeah, let's now solo lay out you for a second.
But look at that.
Oh,
that's
one is
300.
Nice.
Oh yeah, I just got this from a friend the other
day.
Oh yeah, it's mint. Yeah. I've thought about sending it to be graded. Actually, it looks so nice. It's a variant, but yeah. Anyways, I love Conan too. Yeah.
Well, you have I was about to say, so yeah, I'm a big Conan fan, and especially Carrie Nord.
Carrie's right. Sure.
So in case you didn't see that show where Carrie was on here, look you will see how much I'm actually fanboying about him.
It
was so wow. It was so bad. I was fanboying. I was trying so hard not to, but I couldn't help it.
Well, Carrie's a great guy. I've only had the pleasure of meeting him for, I think I met him one time. We were at a cottage together for maybe 3 days, and unfortunately, like Eric was saying, there's a lot of drinking and smoking cigars. So I mean, he seemed like a great guy, but he's a super talent.
Yeah. Well, you guys seems to be super talented in your own in your genres as well. I mean, I don't know how much story did you do in Darkness 2 as an example, because that story was, I mean, I know it's heavily focused on I don't know if you call it phase 2 of the Darkness comic, but it still managed to push itself for those that knew the story to experience new things in the game, which I absolutely loved.
Yeah, it was really cool. That was like I said, that was a really fun experience for me, because we had Paul on there to start, and then part of it is it's a collaboration between what the game needs versus what the story needs, and it was really cool because Paul and I would just sit there banging back and forth scripts, and story tweaks, and how could we make this work for an interactive experience. Not that he's great at that, but the pace we were trying for Darkness 2, I think part of that ended up being a little bit of something that hurt it maybe a bit because it was short, but we wanted the story to be so tight, and so we just kept tightening the gameplay loops and tightening up the story beats, and I mean, I love what we came up with. Like I said, I think for longevity in the market, there was a big shift away from the kind of 8 to 10 hour shooter to people wanting to play games forever, which is great. I think, hey, in Warframe, that's worked out absolutely perfectly. So I don't wish that didn't happen, but I think Darkness 2 came out right at the time where people no longer wanted that. People just like, games are too expensive. I can't deal with a game that's only 7-8 hours. And that's just what the market is. I mean, obviously for me personally, like I said, that was a labor of love on that game. And I love the fact that people who played that and love the story, that makes me smile and that makes me feel it was worth it. But yeah, it was interesting the way the games industry really changed right at the point when D2 came out.
Yeah, and I think that's the only reason why it's such a quote unquote forgotten game is because it kind of got lost in the lost in translation. Is that the word?
People wanted to play. I totally I get it. People wanted to play like they want to play Red Dead or GTA, and I think Cyberpunk is a really good example of like what you have to do now with if you're going to do like a straight up first person story game.
Far Cry.
It better be like Far Cry or Cyberpunk. You can't. Well, not you can't. I'd love to see somebody else do the the 6 to 8 hour tight first person shooter.
I mean, it happened recently with a game. I can't remember what it's called, but it's where you have like an amount of 10 bosses you have to kill, and then you can turn back time every time you die to start over.
Oh, yeah.
I can't remember what it's called, but I've seen it and many people liked it as well, and it reminded me of that because it wasn't too long.
Right. Yeah. Are you talking about the Remedy game? I can't remember what the heck it's called anymore. Anyways, whatever. But yeah, I know what you mean. And like I said, there are options.
Thank you.
Deathloop. Yeah.
I'm not sure how. Yeah, I just wanted to ask Sheldon something about, you mentioned that thing about video games and from a narrative point of view, it's like the games that you mentioned, the movement is to kind of like, we want to have a never ending story. It just keeps on going. As a writer, with your things, do you want like a story beat progression, right? Where there's like a definite ending. I mean, do you feel like the way that things are progressing that way? Do you feel like, wow, that makes a big challenge for writers to have to like adapt to that, never ending story? Or, I mean, is that something
no, I think that's a great question, Gerald. I think actually what it really means is that games have to take more cues from comics, right? I mean, as soon as a comic is a serialized story, and you create worlds where you can tell story after story after story, and it's just taking that approach. Like I said, we didn't take that approach on D2. We didn't take that serialized, even though that's the inspiration, that's the source material, is that. But we were trying to make the game that at the time still seemed like it was kind of like a viable option, which is like you see it in like a game like a BioShock, for example, right? You see like a BioShock or a BioShock 1 or 2 comes out, and they're able to tell like a really tight story and that be the game, and that's enough, right? It's like, oh, I mean, it was a little longer than Darkness, to be fair to what we did with Darkness, but it was about a 19 hour game, and we did a 10-hour game, and it was just like, oh, you could do that for a BioShock. But I think when you're doing, I mean, that's what we do now with Warframe, is we're telling like a serialized story. Our fans, I mean, we just released a trailer, I guess that was 2 days ago, our first trailer for the New War, which is like a huge cinematic story quest. That is the continuation of a story that we've been telling for 8 years. And I think we kind of got it as storytellers with that. And that's just the difference in the way it is. And I don't begrudge it at all. I think it's been fantastic as a creator on Warframe, because we've been able to keep engaging our player and keep telling new stories in that world.
I like that answer, because I was just thinking to myself how difficult it is if you, as a writer, it's like, because you want to control pacing, you want to have like resolution, and then when you are faced with this whole thing where it has to keep on going, it's like, is that frustrating because you can't get that sense of completion. Like if there's a hero's journey, it's like if the journey keeps on going, then you can't have that redemption. You can't have that, or it feels like it couldn't do it. So I like your answer. That's really cool to kind of figure out a way around that, especially if the audience is dictating your writing style, type.
Yeah, and just what they want to see, and I think that's kind of your responsibility as a creator at some level for the audience. And then you want to give them something that they don't expect. But the other place I sometimes think that's cool to take cues from is professional wrestling. They're kind of fun too, because they do the same thing, right? They invent storylines. They have an ongoing storyline that's cool, and every once in a while you can get caught up in what's happening at this particular junction. But the story keeps moving. It's like, now Roman Reigns is bad, or now whatever, right?
Oh yeah,
it's cool. I really I think there's a lot of, I think it's funny. It's like at first it feels like that's nowhere, and then you realize it's everywhere. There's tons of storytelling that is that, and it can be super satisfying because you can still have great arcs that are connected between these serializations.
And you can also tell when the story writers actually listens to the fans or not. Again, let's take WWE as an example there, because they haven't really been the greatest at that lately. I'm saying as a wrestling fan,
sure.
And but at one point they were really great at it, and same with let's say World of Warcraft. At one point they were great at listening to the fans as well. Also with Diablo,
play Final Fantasy 14 online. That's where.
yeah. I have been told.
Yeah, me too.
But can you be a dwarf in that?
No, that's why that's why I'm taking the head of a dwarf.
Okay. He's taking the head of the dwarf.
I didn't know there was so much animosity towards dwarves there, Eric.
I was.
I play a lot of Warhammer, and I can't stand dwarves.
Yet you have you put on the beard as dwarf and.
Looking great. How far are you guys? Like, what are we up for time wise for these guys? Are they close?
They're like 5 minutes.
5 minutes left.
Yeah.
Okay.
Whoa.
All
right, guys.
So Eric can paint this up and in oil paint and everything. He's so fast.
Just wanted to make sure I got that dwarf in there.
Yeah, I can see you spent a lot of time on. I was like, what's he doing there? He's beheading. Yeah, there's this prick ask. Oh no.
What did you call it? A piss ask?
Pickaxe.
No, Sheldon. It sounded like he said piss ask.
This is why I need more water.
He might have said that. He's a writer, so he's creative.
Yeah, he's a writer, not a talker. Okay.
It's a very small axe. Like that even for a dwarf looks a little small, Eric. How far away is that? Like,
well, it's in the background.
Oh, I see.
There you go.
Don't question the artist.
Hey, this is how this is. We told you about this. This is creative soulmates. Yeah. Make the axe bigger. It's all like that.
Done. It's all about the axe size. Axe size. So.
The piss axe. Mm-hmm. So Sheldon, if you of any of the popular games out there right now, if you could take your pick of a game you wanted to be on and draw and make a story for, do you have anything in mind, like a really dream come true kind of?
So you're saying aside from my current dream job of working on Warframe? All right.
Yeah.
So just for anybody out there who's watching, that's my pick, and luckily I get to already do it.
Yes.
If there was something that I could write stories in, I think would be pretty neat would be in the Magic the Gathering space.
Yeah.
I really love a lot
like
of
Baldur's Gate.
Well, I mean, that's what they've done, some Forgotten Realms stuff here lately, but like just the world of like the some of the kind of early world of Magic, and I think like the way they do their set releases, they keep giving the same options that I was talking about with like serialized stories. And I think there would be some really cool ways to like do fan service with like a story that takes place in the Library of Alexandria, which is like a classic Magic card, or like those types of things I think would be pretty neat to do.
Oh man, I'm waiting for you to do that. I think that sounds really cool.
Yeah, I want to see
all your copious amounts of time, right?
Yeah, totally. Yeah, time's the thing. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So what about what about you, Eric? Like same question, but from an artist and designer's point of view. If you didn't already have your dream job, what other games could you see yourself having a fun time working with or in?
Well, I think it's probably pretty obvious. Outside of obviously this dream job,
Dwarven Kingdom, gotcha.
It's probably
Final Fantasy.
Final Fantasy,
yeah. That's what I was gonna say.
Anything from Square Enix and even Capcom. Like I would love to but I've had the fortune of being able to draw a lot of those Capcom characters in comics already. So
I'm a big fan of both Square Enix and Capcom myself. Yeah. So I would love seeing your work there.
Yeah.
Sorry, Sheldon, you?
No, I'm just like, wow, that Eric's satire really came along there at the end. It's nothing like a little blood trail to really get me like, okay, yeah, I'm in now. Yeah, let's like, what do we name this one? This is the Dwarf Slayer for sure, right? Like
the Dwarf Slayer.
Gertrude the goat.
Yeah, she looks very angry and effective.
Okay, one more minute.
Oh yeah, okay. Here we go.
One more minute. All right.
I've already checked out show, and there's at least 2 so far. So
okay.
There will be more stuff. This is looking good. I'm really wanting to ask you about Silvestri, but I feel like that's not a question we should start now, because that probably takes more than 2 minutes to talk about.
Ask.
No, I'm not. No, you're waiting. Marius here to Sheldon. Regarding game writing, what are your thoughts on seasonal storytelling like Apex Legends, where the lore is mostly just dropped through elements and small lines of dialogue rather than full cinematics or cutscenes?
Yeah, I think that's actually pretty cool. Like, I think that when you can do it, when you can just kind of give the players an idea of what the story is, which is what I feel like is what I have. To be fair, I don't know the latest Apex stuff, so I don't want to, talk about something I don't know. When I first was taking a look at some of the stuff that they were doing on Apex, I thought that was actually really cool, because it pointed you to try to figure out stuff and pull it together. So it kind of immersed, without giving away too much, it kind of immersed the player base in what the lore was. But when you actually looked at the surface of what they gave you, it was pretty light. And the coolest part about that for me was that it meant that their world building was really deep, because they must have they built in such a deep world that they could just go, let's just pick out a few things here and there that's going to be enough that the players are going to be able to imagine this world around them as they go around and start doing all the crazy, the crazy stuff that you do in Apex, right?
Yeah, but I mean, Apex is part of the world of Titanfall, so they already had the full world.
Good point. Good point. I always forget about that, but yeah, you're absolutely right. They had the Titanfall world there, so that's it. They did have the world building all done, so now they're able to just leverage it. Like, that's smart.
But yeah, and they were able to both cater to veteran Titanfall fans and completely new fans of the universe, and still get both parties equally excited, which is it's a demanding task. I could only imagine.
Oh yeah, for sure.
All right, pencils down.
Yep.
Eric already got his hands up.
What?
Yeah, well,
that's looking good, man. That's looking cool.
Yeah, well, you didn't stop.
That's very cool.
We are looking at you right
now.
Yeah,
you're still drawing.
Look at that.
Oh my gosh.
Oh.
Read to steal the sun, or else. Yes.
Hey, Eric,
also Arden.
Also Arden.
Yeah, let's zoom in. I want to see some of these finer, and if you can hide the panels, your little palettes, I'd like to.
Oh, how do I do that?
I think there you go. That looks so good.
That's cool, buddy.
I'm getting like you're talking about Final Fantasy. I can definitely see I'm totally having a brain fart here. Who's the famous like fine artist for all of Final Fantasy?
Yoshitaka Amano.
Yeah, Amano. Yes,
I love him.
I see some Amano vibes here. See, this is the chameleon that I was telling you about.
Yeah, he's been a huge influence in my life for sure.
Yeah, this looks this could fit in a Final Fantasy, I think, kind of like Amano style.
It definitely gives you you could see the line work. Eric, even when Eric's going fast, his line work is pretty sweet.
All right.
It is.
That's your one compliment for the day, bud.
Let's see others other work.
Oh yeah. I am getting them ready.
Yeah. All right, we got lots of audience participation this time, Rick.
We got the same amount as last time, as far as I can see right now, but hopefully more will come. Okay. So first and foremost, let's take Sarah Simba, that decided to not follow along with my wheel and just
go your own way. Go your own way.
And just did her own witch.
I think that's
mermaid.
That's great.
Go, Sarah.
I like the creativity.
What's following behind her there? Is that like a little ghost or something back over her shoulder?
Yeah, ghost tomato maybe.
Yeah, is it Kirby?
Yeah, it's a Kirby.
Yeah, Kirby. That's cool. I like it.
Yeah, very cool, Sarah. Very cool.
And while we wait, while I go and share the others, let's look at Gerald's.
There's Gerald's.
Yeah. I like the. Oh yeah, there's the Gerald's. Next.
That's cool. I like the.
Yeah. So is this like a? I wanted to actually add more warlock things, but I don't have enough time. I was gonna put like more of like a belt which had like more pouches and like vials and like little wizardy warlock stuff. But instead I gave her the wand and I guess a staff.
Yeah, but, you pushed her demonic. That's cool.
Yeah, she has kind of like demonic antler horns.
I like it.
I like it a lot.
But it was fun. Definitely, Rick decided to challenge me, and I'm just glad that I was able to do something.
I'm just sadly not a bugbear, but hey. Okay, so this is the Dragonborn. And this is from Marius.
God.
Oh yeah, look at that. That's great.
A rogue Dragonborn.
Look at that.
Very cool.
I like Dragonborns are normally like bulky and big, so I like how he did this a more a slimmer version.
Yeah, well, they have to do a rogue, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is cool. This is what a Dragonborn rogue should be. It should be like that, the runt of the litter that started to go around and start stabbing people in the back, right? Sneak attacks.
Svelte. He's
so well done. Well done. Looks great.
Very good. That's cool.
Very cool. Nice mood.
Awesome.
I like the mood and the colors.
And last but not least, give me one more second. I need to find a faster way to like share one screen from the other.
That's okay. We'll revel in the rogue.
Yeah, that rogue was incredible.
There, another rogue from Merrick.
Man, the Rionico brothers just kicking it, killing it.
That's like you round the corner and then out of a dark shadow something steps and says, "Give me all your Pokemon." It's like, all right, it's a stick. Give me the Pokemon. I got it.
Pokemon.
Even my golden flashy Charizard. No,
that's awesome. Good job. These are really cool.
Work,
I love seeing that.
Yeah, that was great. Fantastic.
I thank all of our audience participation. That's really cool. I enjoy it. But it's nice. I think Rick is eating that up too because he's like, man, I'm the brainchild behind all this great art.
Yeah,
cool.
Up there. So,
Maverick, and then you end up giving them your Pokemon. Absolutely, that's right.
That's right. Okay.
Here they are.
All right. So we're rounding it out to our last drawing challenge, and this is going to be really fun. So let me go ahead and pull up the PDF again. Where is the PDF? There we go. There.
It's over there, Gerald. It's there.
It's over there.
You all see it.
Yeah, okay, so here we go. Okay, so we are going to be drawing. We're going to revisit the cover to Steal the Sun, and this is where, of course, this is where Sheldon and of course Eric, you're welcome to chime in too. This is where we dig a little deeper, without giving any spoilers about To Steal the Sun. So the character that we're going to be drawing, where are my notes? Is Kali.
Yep. Kali. Yep.
And there is a reason why there's I was like me being a big Indiana Jones buff. I was just thinking of Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom and what that heart wrenching scene.
Yeah, the heart wrenching scene. Yeah.
And you just hear the what is it, that shaman like going Kalima.
Yeah.
And I was like thinking, oh, her name is Kali. Is it named after like an Indian deity? But I'm gonna let when we start the drawing challenge, I'm gonna let Sheldon like tell us a little bit of a lowdown.
It's the middle one.
Which one? Yes.
The middle one. I'm sorry. Yeah. So that's this character who has this really interesting. Oops, I'm waiting for it to refresh. Face covering. And I'm sure that Sheldon and Eric can talk a little bit more about that. There's just a really iconic look that is very unique for Kali. So, Rick, you start the clock. You let us know when we're ready to go. People, if you want
some zooms and centering. Zooms and centering so they can get the character.
Yeah, there we go. So now you can see that she has, let me see if I can get a little bit of her lower body. If you want to see.
Yeah, get those thighs in there.
And you can see
she's got this like chain weapon that she uses with a blade on the end, which is pretty cool.
Let me zoom in a little bit here. All right, yeah, right here. Kind of has like it looks like a ninja weapon, like those.
It is a little bit like that. That's called
I forgot what it's called.
It's funny because in the book it's called a colas. So we kind of invented a new weapon. It is a little bit like I want to say something Guri, but I never say the name right. So yeah.
Yes, it looks cool.
Isn't it Kukri?
Kukri.
Kukri.
Similar.
I'm going to say, Rick, you are right, and we're just going to go for that and say it's a Kukri. Not a potpourri.
Until proven otherwise, yeah.
I am Googling it now.
And you can see some of these.
I was completely wrong.
Okay, it's not that. All right.
I mean, a kukri is a knife, but not that kind of knife. Oh, yeah. Well, look at the For Honor nerd.
Kusirigama.
Marius.
The For Honor nerd knows what it is.
All right, so you can see her design. Really, really cool. And we're going to dig deep into this and let Sheldon tell us.
I like how Sarah Semper describes her. Killer belly dancer.
Belly dancer.
She is hilariously. She is an assassin. So.
There you go.
And she has a belly, but who knows if she dances? Nobody.
A little too ripped for that, I think. But you know.
Yeah. All right, so I'm going to zoom out a little bit, and I want everybody to take in this whole character design and this really cool weapon that she has here. So do a screen capture if you plan on drawing with us. And Rick, I will hand it over to you. You let us know when to start.
Yeah, I'm just giving.
Oh,
you already started.
Well, you guys are talking. I'm like, I guess I'll start drawing.
Well, 15 minutes from 3, 2, 1, 1, go.
All right. Okay, let me add my art camp back. And...
Awesome.
Okay, so what is up with her? What is up with her helmet, Sheldon?
Yeah, so Callie, so she's an assassin in the book, and she actually is the side of her face is actually covered by scars. So she wears a lot of different masks in the book. In this particular, this is one of the masks she's given by one of the crazed monarchs she has to interact with while she's trying to become like the royal assassin. And so that one, so like there's times in the book where she wears like a half mask or a veil. There's times where she wears like a spider thing. There's one like you can kind of see at the top corner. Eric's got a few reference images up on the corner of his screen. Yeah. You see the mask that is up on the top corner there. She even wears one that looks like that at a certain time. So these are just kind of like a few references because Eric has been obviously doing some really cool images for the characters as well. So he's kind of got a few rough stuff from me previously on this character.
So she basically got a mask for every occasion.
She does. She I think of all the characters in the book, she's the one. I mean, when you look at the cover, there's probably like her with her mask. Is very signature. There's a smuggler that's also, there's 3 main characters in the book, and the smuggler's the guy kind of standing off to her right, and he has that kind of really interesting jacket. So each of them kind of has this signature. She's got the signature mask. He's got a signature jacket. And then Amara, who's the thief on the left-hand side of her, well, she has a whole other weird signature thing. But yeah, anyways. Yeah, so like I wanted to have each of these characters really kind of strongly visually designed, even though it is a novel, because I think that's just the way I like to think about characters as well. It kind of helps, helps them be iconic when they have a couple of interesting physical or costume traits. Maybe that comes from my time loving comics as well. Like I always like that. I like the idea that my book's a team book and you've got these 3 characters that are, have a signature look to them.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, by the way, Jim Sub's Dungeons and Dragons comics is also some of my favorites.
Oh, cool.
Jim's, I used to know, I know Jim very well. We used to work at Udon together. I've known him for years.
Yeah. I was about to say I was about to ask if he worked on Udon
at the same time as you. Together. I've known that guy for many, many years.
He seems like one of the greatest guys, and his creative mind is just I'm not really reading Marvel anymore, but his stuff I have to whenever new stuff with him. Almost no matter the case, I have to get it because
he's great.
His writing and his stories is almost as good as Sheldon's.
Thank you for the compliment. Right. Wow, that's not.
Just take it.
I'll take it. Perfect. Yep. Thank you. Good point. That's actually a great tip for all artists. If you get a compliment, take it.
Exactly.
And I have a hard time with those. But yeah, you're right. You just got.
That's also why I stopped giving Joel compliments. Because one, he doesn't deserve them, and 2, he doesn't take them. He doesn't take them anyways. So why bother?
I'm like thinking to myself, when did Rick give me a compliment? I'm trying to remember, but yeah, he's all about giving me the
I can show you the video.
You tried to give him a compliment and he wouldn't take it, so you just said
no. I tried to give him compliments every Sunday, but he doesn't listen.
Yeah,
so I'm like, okay. After I've talked the crap about his scribbly lines for about the whole stream, I give him one compliment.
That's great.
So what can you tell us about? Go ahead.
Can you, Gerald? Heads down in your work, please. This is
okay. All right. You stopped asking questions, so I wanted to chime in there.
I was giving creative pause between the questions.
Creative pause. Okay, go for it.
Because I was going to ask the one here I promised to ask about Mark Silvestri. How was he to work with? And
Mark, yeah.
And how much experience did you have in the business when you got to work for Darkness 2?
Okay, so by the time I was on Darkness 2, I had done Jade Empire as an assistant producer. I'd done kind of Dark Sector. I'd worked on a bit of BioShock, and then I was on Darkness 2. So I'd been in the industry for quite a while at that point. And yeah, Mark, he's just one of those. I mean, he's a gigantic person. Like if you ever get to meet him,
Like,
he's
literally right.
He is,
Like
he is,
physically?
yes, he is physically humongous, and just calm and really, really kind. I honestly I didn't expect him to be so laid back and so kind of just like chill creatively. He was just a cheerleader, you know, like he was just supportive. He was very excited with what we were doing. When I showed him that for Darkness 2, we were going to try to adapt a more comic book style to it rather than kind of the hyper realism of the first game. And I think he loved the first game too. So I don't mean to disparage that. Just, I thought he was really supportive of like, hey, you guys are going to try something. And that was really cool. Like to get his buy-in and to have, it wasn't like it took like convincing or anything like that, you know? So he was great. He was great to work with. I had a couple of very, you know, like 2 dream scenarios. Like I said before, I was at Comic-Con, and at Comic-Con on a panel, I was sitting there and like Matt Hawkins was doing the moderating. And then it was Mike Patton was sitting on one side of me and Mark was sitting on the other. And we were just all talking about comics and games. And Mark's wife, I like I said to her, I was just like, could you please take a picture while I'm up there? Like, here's my phone. Can you take a picture just so I have this? Because I really want to have this one for a long time.
I could imagine you just look to your right and to your left, and then you look down and left like a little child. Like
totally, it was exactly like that. And like people would ask questions, and it was funny because it was the focus of the panel was on the game, so people would ask questions, and so like either one of those 2 guys, like they'd keep looking at me to answer, and I'm like, I don't want to answer. I want you guys to answer. Like I just want to hear you guys talk about this. This is so cool.
Yeah,
so,
I'll just sit down with the audience. Why am I sitting here? I don't know.
Totally. So yeah, honestly, that experience was fantastic, and he was great to work with. And then, like I said, I also got to work with Paul, who's also really, you know, great comic writer, and he was amazing from a collaborating perspective as well. So yeah, it was a really great experience.
Was this the first time you also worked with where creation came from another genre and came into the computer world? Because I would believe that there comes some different way of thinking when it comes to that, when you take like from movies and makes it into a game, and or comics, like you have to make sure that you're staying true to the characters there, whereas if it was just from a game, you have more free will to do with as you please, so to speak.
Right. I would say that in my experience, that the most important thing on that is actually not usually on the creator. It's the person who owns the IP. How are they as a collaborator? If you have, and I've had other games that, you know, I've worked on more games than what we've mentioned, and so the games that have been successful have generally been the games where the creative person who's willing to show a really good vision for what they want, but at the same time realize that, hey, you know what, the game development team is going to be about 130 to 200 people working on it, and there's a certain thing that they are going to have to do. You're going to have to work with them in a trusting collaboration rather than a like dictatorial. And so anytime I've worked in a situation where it's been highly collaborative, I mean, the results are things like the Darkness 2, which were just, you know, I think overall, like I said, I wish it would have sold better, and I wish a whole bunch of things, but I don't think anybody regrets the creative work. Like no one who is associated with that project thought to themselves, oh, this wasn't worth it, or I'm not happy with what we did. And so that's the key. The more of the key is when you're working on someone else's property, that they kind of get what a collaboration creatively means. It's not so much on the on the person who's working on the project, I guess, if that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So I mean, this is what's so fun about this process for me. So like, I've got these characters, I've got this book, and it's been going down, an art process of trying to get artists to work on it. So like when I was going to Douglas, who's the cover artist, it was so wild to kind of say, here's a few descriptions of the characters, here's a couple scenes where they're in, and then for him to come back with sketches like, well, here's what I think they might look like. And it was like we pushed and pulled, and it was great because I had Eric on my side, and so like Eric was sometimes able to, even like when I couldn't really articulate what I wanted him to change necessarily about a part of the character, and then it was so cool when you have a collaborator like Eric. He can go in, he can draw over. Obviously you don't want to do that to everybody, because that can be taken the wrong way when someone sketches over your work. But when you've got someone who's coming from the right standpoint, which is what it was with Eric, we were able to get the cover into a place where I was really, really happy with how each of the characters looked, and how, I helped, like, I didn't want it to be like, when people read a book, you want them to imagine the whole world, right? And like, it's nice when you can kind of flip the cover and look at it and go, oh yeah, these are who each of these characters are. But my hope is that each person, when they read the book, I mean, it's a heist novel, right? So it's like a heist novel and a team book where these people are going together to try a heist that's so impossible. The name of the heist is actually called To Steal the Sun, because you might as well try doing it. It's so hard. And so it's so challenging for these characters, and I think you get to know them so well. I really wanted the reader to be able to put themselves in the shoes of these characters and imagine themselves, but then to be able to touch back to the cover and have that touchstone,
Yeah, that's the good thing about books, that that's your own creativity that comes to play.
Yeah.
And the imaginations, whereas comics has already given you the look, so to speak. And you kinda already segued your way into my question, that now you're kind of the other end of it all, with whereas you're the main creator, and people are coming to you and helping you, whereas it was different before. And
totally,
you just answered my.
No, but it's a good like, it's really weird when the shoe goes on the other foot, right? And you see it, and then you try your best to remind yourself of all those lessons that you learned being on the other side of that, right? You learn that, like, how do you be a good collaborator for somebody else when they're doing your work? So, and then, like, it's cool. Like right now, Reese York is another talented artist, and he's working on the map. He's a great map artist. So that's been a whole other really cool thing, because I've designed this whole world. It's called the Jeweled Lands. And it's kind of got, like, one end has got this like dense jungle. There's a huge desert that's been it's actually blue. The sand has turned blue because of a kind of outworld event. And then there's like a mountainous range as well. And like trying to like talk to him about how I'd like the map to lay out, even though like I've done sketches of a map. I want, again, him to bring his creativity in, because I want the map to tell a story, and he's a visual storyteller. I'm not. So it's like, it's really cool to see if I can harness like the best of his creativity while still giving the framework that I think, a reader who wants to follow the story along in the map as they go are going to be able to do it. So, yeah.
I like that. I like how different forms of creativity comes together.
Yeah,
to help in that way. So your 2 more minutes before I completely forget. 2 more minutes to go.
Wow, that went fast.
So I know you answered this in somewhere. You started this story like when you were a kid, right?
Actually, it feels like it's been that long, but yeah, I started this. Like I said, it's going on right now, actually. So every year, in the writing scene, there's it's kind of a contest, but it's not really. It's just a contest against yourself, and it's called National Write a Novel Month, NaNoWriMo. And so I'd participated in a few years because I've always wanted to write a novel, as much as I've written tons of scripts and game scripts in particular. but that was about 5 years ago. I did the Nanowrimo, and when I was doing that, I just kind of like, I had this idea that had been kicking around for a while. I love heist stories in general, but I also like epic fantasies. Like I like ones where the world changes and there, the stakes are massive. A heist story is obviously a lot of times very, very close on the characters. Like, it's a character that needs $1 million so that they can finally free their brother from prison. Like that's the typical heist. But if you could somehow make a heist story that was about, if you do the heist, it changes the entire world. That was kind of like an interesting start for me. So I wrote the first draft over, well, I tried to write the first draft in that first Nanowrimo, which is 1 month, and that didn't work at all.
Too ambitious.
Yeah. But over I think 2 years, I had the draft done that was in a pretty decent space. I started really polishing that up, and then I read Dune. And it's funny that I hadn't read Dune. Like as someone who's really into fantasy, and science fiction, it's just, we all have those holes. Like it's like, what's that one property you've never experienced? And for me, up until 2.5 years ago, I guess it was Dune. And so I read Dune for the first time, and it totally changed everything for me. It made me go back and look at the whole world I'd created, and I saw what was underneath it. Like I saw my subconscious had been working on this idea as I wrote these first 2 drafts of the world was actually set in a world inspired by kind of a medieval India, a South Asian feel, rather than what a traditional Western. And it was so funny. Like when I looked through the book for all the references, I was like, wow, like why didn't I do this? Like I don't even know why I didn't, but it took reading Dune. It took kind of really getting into another person's creation and really kind of engaging with their world building to realize that I had to rewrite the book and set it. Like I said, that's when I did all the world building for the Jeweled Lands. I made a dice game where I have the rules for it. Like you could literally play it if you wanted to. Like I went through this whole process of inventing a whole new pantheon and everything. And I brought that in, and the book, I mean, just benefited 100%. Now there's people who have read both versions, and I'm lucky I have some really cool beta readers and other people who have helped me out on that side, and editors, and they all just are like, wow, like what happened? And it's so funny to put it to a property that right now is in popular culture because they just did the movie. But at the time, I mean, I don't really know if they had even announced the movie when I read it. Like the copy I have is like, actually, this is funny. I know people are drawing, but I got to show you my copy. It's so crappy. I'm gonna have to buy a really good one. But like, here's my version of Dune. It's got like the stamp on it from, I don't know. There's a lot of glare here, but the stamp from the used bookstore. Like the pages are all browned. It smells like a musty old store. But yeah, this was the book, and I just couldn't get enough. And yeah, it changed everything. It changed just the way I decided to approach storytelling. So yeah, big influence.
Okay, with that being said, Gerald, no, don't continue with that, because with that being said, pencils this down.
Pencils are already down. Boom.
Oh gosh! All right, let's look at. I'm already. I'm on. Pick me up off the floor. Every time I see what Eric does, and I look at the jewelry or the design like around her neck. Oh my gosh! And that's like a variation. You said that she wears a lot of different masks. And here I was thinking so one-dimensionally. I was like, I want to make my mask look like the wooden mask that was on the cover. But here we're seeing like a totally different mask covering up those scars. Oh, can you zoom in, Eric?
Yeah,
let's
I want to writing what she's saying.
I agree. I can't say no. I can't say no to that. I agree.
I feel there's some sort of continuity in your drawing. I can't put my finger on it.
Anyway, just really rough and whatever. But
that's cool. Thanks, Eric. That's awesome, man.
I'm trying to do.
I like it.
Like you were saying, it's so exciting to watch people draw your character. I just like it. It warms my heart.
Yeah. I was about to say I like it rough, but that could be
good save. Although you just said it, so yeah.
It's too late. It's already been said.
It's out there now. Okay, so we got at least one for now. For now, more people are More people will probably go up, but for now, this is Sarah Simba's version.
Oh, nice.
Oh, nice.
Right on.
Yeah, I also want to mention that Sarah's from Egypt, so you're getting some.
Wow.
And the
Cool.
Rionicos are from the Philippines, so you're getting a lot of international.
I like that.
love
That's
here,
amazing.
you know? Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, thanks. That's cool. She definitely got the costume. That looks spot on. That's great.
Yeah. Very good, Sarah. Very good.
Nice work.
That is still what I can see right now on Artio. So if anybody else,
Jim said he got nowhere. He's like, oh my god, I got nowhere with this piece.
Well, let's see it, Jim. Maybe you're uploading right now. I'm refreshing, spamming refresh as much as possible.
Oh, there you go. Marius is uploading. Okay, here we go.
Okay.
We got some
There
coming
we
in
go.
now.
Slowly but steadily. Well, Marius, I'm always expecting like 2 minutes after I said, well, that seems to be it. That's it. That's his speak, so to speak.
15 minutes is a tough show, Sarah. I agree with you. That's tough to draw.
Yeah.
And Rick likes to give
That's
Marius
why I don't do it while I'm here.
Yeah, he doesn't.
Because
he gives
I know
Marius
because
extra
I
time,
know
but
I can't
no
do it.
time to me. He gives no extra time to me.
That's great though. It's good to have a challenge like that
but
too.
Yeah,
right?
you don't need extra time because 15 minutes and you do stuff like this.
Oh, cool.
Nice.
Yeah, and you know what? There are some times where she gets pretty damn mad in the book. So that's angry Callie.
Yeah.
She's not impressed.
Can you see the? I think when I heard about the darkness and with that you worked and you talked about Mark Silvestri. Mark Silvestri probably was one of the earliest one of my favorite artists.
Oh yeah.
Back in like elementary school, going to middle school, and I just happened. Well, I'm like going back to like I'm much older. My first Mark Silvestri book was The Revenge of the Living Monolith. I don't even know if you read that graphic novel, but
that was
back
like
when, I'm old. So, but he that's when he had kind of like his style was evolving. He still had a lot of Buscema look to his style. But then by the time he was like doing Uncanny X-Men and going into Wolverine, and then of course when he did Top Cow, that's when his style really just like took off. But I love I love that whole Mark Silvestri look, and I just couldn't help but like try and
put it in there.
So put a little bit of Silvestri into this drawing.
I feel it. That's awesome, man.
All right.
Oh, cool.
This is Mavericks.
Mavericks, very nice, man. It's cool. You definitely got her. Yeah, you definitely got the mask, and that's a cool feel. I like that. I like the whole. Yeah, I like the whole feel of that.
Very neat.
I like that he's going a bit different than his usual style as well.
Oh okay.
When you have to change, you should definitely go see some of his art.
Other stuff.
But it's equally as great as this one.
Cool. Oh, that's awesome.
Okay,
cool.
So there's one more. There is one more. Hang on.
One more. Okay. I love this. I love this so much. You guys don't know. Like
it's
honestly,
so cool,
this is making my day. This is so cool to me.
I'm happy to hear it. Both me and Yarrow love doing it.
Wait, Jim O'Reilly says that he did too. He said, where do
in the Artio Facebook group.
Yeah. So hopefully we get some Jim O'Reilly artwork here to share along too. So
it's great. Oh, here comes another one.
Oh, nice.
Oh, wow.
Marius.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Oh man. So you guys are gonna send me these, right? Like, how do I get these after?
We will.
You go to the Artio and just steal them.
Yeah. To steal the art. Got it.
Yeah.
Oh man.
That's so cool. Wow, guys.
Yeah, it's great stuff.
Yeah, it really is. Oh man, yeah.
Yeah. Sorry,
I'm stunned. I'm just sitting there. I'm like, oh my god, this is so cool. I don't know what to do. Sorry, you're gonna say something, Joe.
Yeah, I actually want to. This is a little bit of surprise. I'm going to see if I can get him on here. So let me. This is the little surprise that I kind of alluded to you guys.
Oh
before.
yeah.
So I just want to to let's see if I can get him into the stream. And then there was a particular artist that wanted to like talk to you guys and share a little tribute to you both in terms of your artistic creations. So let me see if I can get him on here. And
while you wait, I will link Jim. I will link to the art show. And you guys just click the link and you'll be in the art show to share the art.
Oh, there we go.
Okay. I guess we're going to be playing up this whole drama to get him on here.
Should I get my kazoo and play some waiting music?
I don't know. I think if Eric says you can play the kazoo, then you can play the kazoo. Eric, what do you say?
Totally do it. Totally.
Apparently, Jeopardy is big in Denmark.
It's not big. It's just the only like waiting song tune that I can remember.
It's a wedding song in Denmark.
No, they're waiting. Here we go. It worked.
All right. So, without further ado, let's get one of the famous Ionico brothers on here.
There he is.
Hey,
how you doing?
Hey,
hello.
How are you?
Yeah, so Marius is a mainstay in terms of like one of our most active, Comics Cast supporters. He's a phenomenal artist. You got to see some of his artwork.
Great.
Here, and when we posted, the banners to promote your appearance, Marius like jumped on it because he's a big fan of The Darkness. He's the Darkness 2 video game. He loves.
Nice.
I don't know if you like Warframe or not, but I just know that Marius is a very he's a very studied guy, and he knows good art when he sees it. And he saw what you guys were doing. He read about he saw the cover for the novel, and just felt like he needed to do something. So. Marius, say hello to everybody, and then when you're ready, go ahead and share your artwork. You can share it from your end, and we'll throw it up there. And I want you guys to see what your creation is inspiring among our guests. Our audience.
Okay. Well, hi guys. My name is Marius. I've been on the stream before sometimes for a couple of projects, but you guys are the stars here right now, and I'm actually fanboying a bit right now because, I'm a fan of No Clip, the video game documentary series.
Oh yeah. Okay.
And I actually saw you there, Sheldon, and when you were talking about the part where you kind of tried to suppress the lottery system, and the Warframe system.
Yeah. Oh god.
So that was so cool. I love looking behind the scenes of things. From video games to films, and watching this stream was such a blast and such an honor to have you especially respond to some of my questions, because your insight is just heavy. I love hearing thoughts from people who've been there. Like, I can only imagine what it's like to work there. It's kind of a dream. So to hear your thoughts from it, it's thank you for sharing your thoughts.
Thank you.
So Eric, too, dude, your art. His
art is pretty great. I have to agree. His art is great.
So, Marius, do you want to share what you did, or do you want me to pull it up? It's up to you.
Oh, okay. Let me see.
While he looks around, we have the Jim O'Reilly. We have the Jim O'Reilly piece right now. So let's just look at that until Marius is ready.
It's ready. Okay.
And I think this is why he said, "Oh my god, this didn't work." Is because according to him, he didn't only got this far. But I still think it's good.
All right,
it doesn't have to. You can't read. Oh yeah, I need to share it. That would be a great idea. But here it is.
Nice.
Oh yeah, he was going.
Yeah. Zoom in.
I liked it.
Rick, can you zoom in?
It's already zoomed in. This is. I can.
I see more pencils on the art show, because I decided to jump to the art show link and start looking, and I see more pencils actually that Jim did too. So, but yeah, that looks cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Well,
very cool.
You do my job then.
Sorry. No, I'm sorry. That's the worst thing.
He posted. He also wrote. He posted 2. I only saw
he
this
did.
one.
Oh, okay. He did post 2. Sorry. Okay. I saw the second post. So that's. Okay. I was just like, how am I seeing a different thing than you?
So here we go. The surprise.
Uh-huh.
Okay, it's already up. You can pull the screen now.
All right, here we go. Look at that.
Oh, right on. Look at that.
What?
Crazy. It's
Oh
so crazy.
My God.
Crazy good.
Man,
This was 20 minutes, not 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Oh,
No. This took around 3.5 hours. So
oh man, I'm kind of speechless, man. Thank you.
That's
wow.
Very cool. Super cool.
I love your take. Wow.
Yeah, me too. It's really rad.
Wow.
So I really wanted to, we
Super,
saw this.
Congrats, that's awesome.
Thank you.
No, Jim, it wasn't Jim. I was kidding. It was done in 3 hours, 3.5 hours.
Here's actually a 2-minute. If I could share this, where is it? So this is actually a 2-minute time lapse. Can you guys see it?
Yeah.
There we go.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, very cool. Look at that.
So this was totaled from 3.5 hours because I saw the illustrations on Kickstarter and of course the promotional that Comics Cast did, and I really loved the designs. And so during my downtime, while I was working on other projects, so I thought that it would be nice to kind of create this kind of like as a gift. So. If you would like the high resolution file, I am very much willing to send it to you.
Oh, 100%. Wow, man! Like this is. I don't know what. I honestly don't know what to say other than thank you so much. I'm blown away. I'm blown away, Marius. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now that he's here, then and. He does have a YouTube that we will be linking to in the art show when we're done here. So definitely go and watch him and check him out on his other social medias.
Oh yeah, of course. Man.
Yeah, I'll be happy to connect you guys.
Please do, Gerald. If you can hook us all up because Marius, I got some ideas and maybe a few things I can send your way as well. So.
Oh, that's what I want to hear.
Okay.
This is what I love about Comics Cast and Let It Out is putting creators together. And
great.
I think it's always good to hear that. And I just want you guys to know that you're inspiring many people. You're inspiring people, not just in North America or Canada and the United States. You're reaching across the globe. Marius, he's in the Philippines.
Hello, I'm in Denmark. So he's coming out all around the world.
All around the world.
Amazing.
So and it's just a treat to see this process here. I guess are we almost? Is it almost done? Let's see.
Yeah,
it's almost done. It's almost done.
Okay, great.
Yeah, it's really cool to see the time lapse too. Wow.
I love the time lapse. That's awesome.
Yeah. Would you post this, Marius, or can I get the time lapse too? Because I'd love to have all this.
Time lapse. Sure.
Yeah,
sure.
Okay.
I'll send you all of the files. Yeah.
Okay. Amazing.
Okay.
Wow.
This
Man.
is.
I was not expecting this, Gerald. You said there was a little surprise. Honestly, I didn't know what that. Wow. Yeah.
Hey, don't thank me. Thank this guy.
You're blowing my mind.
I just told you that when we post those banners and you don't really we want to get the word out, but when artwork and creators like yourselves can inspire people to do something. I mean, it's amazing, and that's how your storytelling, your art is moving people. And that being said, Marius, I'm gonna talk to you a little later on, and I'm gonna get you some contact information. But we need to talk about their Kickstarter real quick. But
of course,
I'm so happy that you were able to contribute and do this tribute to them, and I will be so happy to connect you guys a little later on. All right?
Look what you did! Look what you did to Jim!
Thank you, Gerald. Thank you, Comics Cast. Sheldon, thank you. I'm glad you like the art.
Cheers, man! I can't wait to we'll talk after for sure. Cool.
Okay.
Thanks.
All right, we'll see you later,
Bye.
Bye, guys.
See you, man.
And Marius now made Jim O'Reilly cry. Breaking all my crayons now, huddling in a corner crying.
Oh, that's funny.
Well, yeah,
Jim,
I think, I think
Jim,
we're all
you're doing great work as well. But damn, every time I see something from Marius, it's just wow.
That's
okay.
amazing.
Well, this is where I'm so happy that we're able to do that for you guys. But let's also talk about what your success, which is To Steal the Sun, which is on Kickstarter right now. So let me share that.
Sure,
and, because we want to round out the show because we're now pushing 2.5 hours.
I know. We're going. Yeah, we're going.
And we could actually easily go further. I think that.
I need to apologize. I need to be right back. But go on. Just
okay.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, so I mean, this is hey, you know what? Thank you everybody for coming to check it out. Like this is the Kickstarter. I am kind of in a wild, can't even quite process it state because. We went in with like a pretty small conservative Canadian. I guess you're in the US, so it does the US conversion, which is so funny. I was like, what? Of the 3,983, how? Like, what? That's the weirdest goal ever. Anyways, it was 5,000 Canadian was our goal, and obviously it's today. Just this morning, it crossed 500% funded,
yes.
Which was so exciting. Thank you.
Thanks, buddy. Well done.
Yeah.
So you guys are breaking records from yesterday to today. So
yeah, it's just insane. Like you were saying, Gerald, the thing I'm probably the amount is great, and I'm like obviously means it could do so many cool things with the book. There's going to be like foil stamping inside of it. There's going to be like dust covers. There's like spot gloss on the characters. All this cool stuff. But the thing is, there's 475 people that that have signed up to read the book. I mean, for me as a creator, that's what I want. I just want my story to get out there, and the fact that people have come in and backed it. I mean, this is the only way to get the book. So, hey, if you're watching and you're interested, the Kickstarter still got 4 days to go, and this is the only way to get the book. But like the fact that 475 people are already on board is just like,
thank you.
It's funny. I'm kind of like in weird. I'm in like gratitude overload because I can't believe this art I just saw. I can't believe what Marius did, and then I just see like all these people who have backed the project. It's just. Yeah. And like I said, as a creator, it's such a rush to see this, and it's been really fun because of the way Kickstarter works, and you could keep adding. So like right now, I think that at the next stretch goal, if we hit there, then I'm going to put illustrations at all the parts, at all the part breaks. So there's going to be more and more art in the book. So yeah, it's going great, and yeah, I don't know what to say other than thank you, and it's awesome. Thanks for having me on the show so that I could tell more people about it because this is why we do it.
Absolutely, and just to like totally retread what you just said. Not only have you're overfunded, the two of you, your accomplishment, congratulations. Your goal was only 3,983, which is, I guess, a really weird number. Yeah. But it's like you're at 20,000, over 20,000. Isn't that amazing? But the thing that's so impressive is the backers. And, I joke with all of our guests about this who have successful campaigns. Unless between you and Eric, you have 475 family members and friends that are all rallying to support you. You actually have, let's just say like you had 70 between the two of you. Sure. That's like 400 people that just believe in you guys. They read the Kickstarter campaign. They saw Eric's art. They saw the cover art here. And they said, you know what? I'm going to back this. And that is amazing. And that's the power of crowdfunding. You really can make your dreams, a reality. And that's so cool here that, comics is a visual medium, but you're doing, yours is a novel with the support of some artwork. Totally. And of course, the art that you have, the relationship you have with Eric and the projects that you're doing outside of this particular piece. It shows. I think a lot of people can really tell when they see this piece that it's put together with a lot of love. And the good thing is that correct me if I'm wrong, this is done, right? It's ready to go, right?
Done. Yeah, I finished. I'm done. Thankfully, the writing I do now is on other things, which is cool.
Yeah,
that book is totally done now. Yeah,
that's the thing I want to say too. This is a lesson to, I think, all crowdfunding, artists, indie creators, is that being able to have a finished product, because there's no waiting. It's ready to go. In fact, it's just like whatever money that's being raised is just to do the finishing touches. There's no
so yeah. So what we're doing, exactly, we're doing like the funding is like obviously to make the book as great as it can be. I see Rick really wants to ask a question though.
Well, okay,
Rick really he's got a question. He's got 2 fingers. I want to know.
No. It's just every time I tried to want in, Djævel continued talking, and I liked what he was talking about, so I didn't want to interrupt him. So that's why I kept my hand up, so he could see me when he was done.
Yes.
So I'm sorry that I actually interrupted you by not.
No, it's okay. I thought I was like, when you went to 2 fingers, I'm like, okay, yeah, he wants.
My question was just very simple: is that if this book and novel ships internationally?
Yes, it does.
Awesome.
Absolutely. And if you don't want to, I mean, the international, I know, is always like when I even look at it myself, I know like it's kind of crazy right now where international shipping's at across, depending on where you are. But there's also an ebook version and there's an audiobook version. So because of that,
I saw the audiobook version, and I want to listen to her talk.
No, totally. She's amazing. And that's one of the things that was one of the things, like the book's all done, but I hadn't paid yet for the narrator, who's Ulka. She's amazing. And now she's like, I'm like, Ulka, we're good. Start recording. So she's recording, like, I think she's recording this weekend, so awesome. Like, it's just stuff like that makes this all possible. I wasn't sure if I'd ever do an audiobook version of it. As soon as you get all this, when the funding comes in, you're just like, okay, wow, like this is it. I can make this the best product that it can be. It's like I said, it's a dream come true.
See, that's why my question to her wasn't as so important to have to interrupt you.
Oh,
it's okay. It's all good. It's all good because we have international audience here. I'm sure they were asking the same question about how they can.
And that's what I say. If it turns out that you look at the shipping price to ship that to you where you are in your country, hey, you could still, the audiobook and ebook has no shipping cost.
Yeah,
we'll just send it to you, and then you're set.
I'm going for the audio and ebook for sure. Perfect. Because
awesome. Yeah,
and
then if we see you at a convention sometime, hopefully I'll have those with me, and then that's a way to do it. Because we'd love to do that too, right? We love going to the cons and meeting people. So
there's cons in Denmark, so
sounds great.
Come on over.
That sounds like a great idea.
Yeah, you can stick with Rick.
Yeah.
Yeah, Eric, you'll fit right in with the beard and all.
He would for sure. Yeah. No doubt.
And I just want to highlight this because this is the tier. It's called the Grand Heist, and it's fitting because Eric is quite grand and he has quite a grand beard. This is the tier that has the contributing artists. Where Eric is here. I believe there's
there's Douglas's posters is in there. There's I can't believe some of the stuff we're doing, which is so cool. Like we have a coin that we got made. So there's like one of 100 coins that are there. There's lots of cool stuff in that tier for sure. But like I said, for me, again, as a creator, hey, however you just experience the story. That's all I really want. If you can get in, if you're in a place where that's not too big a deal for you to be able to afford that kind of support, fantastic, thank you. And then you get Eric postcards too, which are cool.
That's not final art. Let me just say that.
Yeah. Yes.
We had to get that thing up as fast as we could. We were like, hey, we need to tell people this is here. Eric, what do you got? And he's like, okay, thanks, guys.
I'm sorry.
10 minutes of drawing. Let's go.
Well, you know what? It's like even the I'm gonna have to say the rough stuff because Rick loves the rough stuff. Even the rough artwork is still phenomenal. It's great, Eric, and I actually like seeing the progression. That's the beauty about doing like even these live drawing things because we see the progression. I have to watch the show afterwards because I can't see the progression. But that's the thing. I like that you sent me even just what was done prior to what you did yesterday, and I can't wait to see what you're going to do for the final art pieces. But it's a good tease. I think once you got 4 days that are coming up to back this.
4 days. Yeah.
So, yeah, we have 4 more days. Hey, let's get this to 25,000. Let's get this to 30.
25.
Yeah, let's keep on driving at this.
American.
Yeah, it's like America, get her done. But here we at 475. Let's get it at 500. I think we can do it.
I would love. I mean, yeah, that's cool. That's what I'm hoping over the next couple of days. Even that would. I mean, like I said, I'm grateful. I'm at the point now where I'm just grateful. I like whatever happens from here on out is great. But yeah, jump on board. It's fun. I promise. Yeah. I promise it's a great story, and there's lots of cool stuff that we're adding for backers. And if we hit other tiers, there's going to be even more rewards for people. So yeah.
Yeah, I think. And let me go ahead and let me show. These are the unlocked stretch goals. We got spot gloss. We got spot illustration. We have a dust jacket, French flaps. That's not what you think, Rick.
Yeah, people.
How do you know?
Let's stay away from that. Yeah. The world map. I'll just keep moving. I'm like, let's go away from that one. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I want to see. Those are unlocked. We got the world map. I think Sheldon talked about how he has a great artist that's going to be doing the world map. But let's get the foil stamp. Let's get the book art. And I think that the XXXX. Let's get that XXXX unlocked. Who knows what that could be? It's removing those black bars, right, Eric? We're gonna make sure that we can provide whatever that XXXX thing is. So.
Eric provided it without the black bars. It wasn't him that put them there.
I know.
Just saying, it wasn't him.
Wasn't me.
It wasn't him. But I am. It's been a pleasure to actually promote this. All of the raid creators that I've met through Sam Noir, you guys are just continuing that tradition of really great product, great crowdfunding. You guys are great representatives from the North, my Canuck brothers. Just glad to showcase you guys. So again, to our audience. Let's get them to 25. Let's get them to 30,000. Let's get them to 500 backers. There's 4 more days. I'm going to post. You can see at the bottom in the scrolling ticker, I changed it. This is how you can go check them out. I'm actually going to, I don't know, Rick, you want to post this to the comment section if you like?
I've been done so a few times. So yeah.
Oh, you did already.
Again.
Yeah. So Rick is already on the ball. He's
I
done
really
that.
appreciate that. I appreciate your viewers and thank you guys. Yeah, it's awesome.
That's awesome. We're glad to do it, and I'm going to actually follow up. We'll put the link in our on our Facebook page and our art show page just to get everybody to be, we'll cover all the bases to make sure that we get the word out. So so check that out. We're going to have to go to that part of the show which is called the Oscar speech. Let me unshare this. Let me stop the screen here.
Which is where we get a guy called Oscar come in and give a speech.
All right, cool.
Yeah. Well, that's where you guys
Oscar.
That's where you guys get to put on your Oscar masks. And this part of the show is basically you just giving your final thoughts, and if you want to give thank yous to anybody. But I believe that we're going to start out with Eric. So you get to set the trend in terms of how this Oscar speech goes. So Eric, let us know what you think.
I'd like to thank the following people. I get to look at my self-talk. That's great.
You do.
No, I just want to say thanks for everybody who came onto the show and watched us and listened to our nonsense for hours, ramble on. You had to put up with all my my art show and my crazy drawings, but I really appreciate the support. Sheldon and I are over the moon for all of the fans that come out to these podcasts. King Vedder, nice, and his Kickstarter is just killing it, and I'm so proud of him, and I'm so excited for everyone to read it, and I can't wait to finish the drawings and show people the art for it, and Arden, we're excited to. Oh, thank you. We're really excited to move forward with that. We got big plans next year. 2022 will be a really big year for both of us with Arden, and I just thank you guys for having me on, and then having us both on. This has been great. So look forward to doing a follow up when the Kickstarters may be live in 2023. We'll see. So thanks everyone.
Awesome. I guess we'll just continue the trend here, and we will definitely have you back. Anything you guys want to promote, the invitation and the door is open for all that stuff. So, Sheldon, let's hear your Oscar speech.
Oscar speech. All right. Well, I mean, I can't start any thanks without saying thank you to my creative soulmate, Eric Vedder. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate you.
Anytime, forever.
But you know what? Like going on a journey, writing a novel and being able to write on Arden at the same time, it's been like such a fantastic thing. And then being a part of the Raid, which we talked about earlier, exactly. Raid has been a super creative group of Canadian artists that kind of work together. We support each other. And so with them, they've kind of helped me do this Kickstarter, which has been fantastic. So I guess it's like thanks to all those people as well. Thank you to Marius for the amazing piece. You just, man, you blew my mind with that. So thank you so much. To you guys, thanks for hosting. That was really, really fun. I didn't know what to expect. I mean, I guess I kind of did because I've watched a few episodes, but this was really, really fun. You guys have a great show going here, and I know I'll be watching, from now on. This is really fun. It's really cool to see that. I really like the idea of having, as much as I don't draw at all, I really love the idea that your audience is drawing along and getting to see people do stuff. That's a fantastic experience. So I really like seeing people's artwork, and it kind of inspires me when I see people working on stuff. It's kind of like you feed into the energy. So I think that's what you guys are doing. You're kind of putting out the good vibes that people get to create along with other creators, and kind of all of us get to expand what we're doing together. So thank you, everybody. Thanks. If you could check out the Kickstarter, I really appreciate it. This has been a great time. Awesome. Thanks.
You guys nailed it. That was those are great Oscar speeches. I'm about ready to shed a tear. It was so beautiful.
10 out of 5.
Nice. I'll take it.
But yes, that was great, and we loved having you too.
Cool.
I think you guys. I mean, it warms Rick's heart, and it's he's such a cold Denmark. Heart, and it's defrosting it. And we appreciate
it's not my fault. It's winter here in Denmark.
So our mission is accomplished here because we really want to promote indie creators, and you are no exception. In fact, you guys are just above and beyond just phenomenal people, and it was our pleasure to have you on the show. Wow, so that being said, we end the show, and this is the part where let me share this screen. So we end the show talking about our charity partner, and our charity partner is Golden Fight, and you can check out the scrolling banner at the bottom. It's goldenfight.org. They're an organization that we are not financially tied to in any shape or way or form. We just the leadership at Comics Cast is friends with the leadership at Golden Fight, and they're just a great organization. Now, what is Golden Fight? Golden Fight is a organization, a charity organization that is both big and small. Small in the sense that they're not nationwide. They have a very focused geographic area that they work in. It's my neck of the woods, Mid-Atlantic region. And what they do, which is really big, which is really huge, is they help raise money for families that have children that are dealing with really difficult diseases like cancer. And that's where they're huge. This is where they're supremely big, in the sense that I used to think that the money that they would raise, it was like 97 or 98%. And that 1 or 2% would go towards like administrative things, but it's not even that. It's 100%. 100% of the money they raise goes to help these families who are focusing on the healing of their child, and then they're going to have financial difficulties, and that's where Golden Fight comes in. They raise money to help these families when they're going through the most difficult challenges of their lives, helping heal their child. So please check it out. Like I said, we're not financially tied to them. If you have a charity that you want to look into, please look at them. They are a class act, and we would just like to spread the word about what they're doing. So goldenfight.org, and let me hide. Let's get rid of this. Have you guys back on the screen, and Rick is on top of it. He called up the link tree and the Twitter account.
Yeah, I know what I'm doing.
He knows what he's doing. Yeah. He knows what he's doing. So Eric, Sheldon, thank you again. I want our audience to go after the show. Now that we're done, go to their Kickstarter page, support To Steal the Sun, go like and subscribe to anything that these guys are attached to. We want to show our support for the independent community and fulfill Comics Cast's mission to get eyes on you guys. So that being said, I guess we're going to take it out. I'm going to tell everybody, thank you for watching Comics Cast. Let it out, and we'll see you next week. Love you guys.
Everybody. Take care.
Right, thank you.
Bye. Thanks again.